Betrayed and left for dead by his own sworn brother, this young man was abandoned in the desolate wilderness with only a single breath left. But Lin Shun refused to let his life end like this. A fierce desire to live surged within him. He wanted to live on. More than that, he wanted to grow stronger so he could take his revenge. And then, it seemed the heavens heard Lin Chen's plea. Because in the very next moment, a bolt of lightning suddenly struck down, piercing right through his body. Lin Chen only had time to feel an agonizing pain tear through him. Then, his vision went dark. When he opened his eyes again, he was no longer on Heiwu Mountain. He was now surrounded by an endless space, as brilliant as the galaxy itself. Lin Chen had no idea where he was. He only vaguely remembered being struck by heavenly lightning. At first, he thought he had been sent to hell. But to his surprise, a purple orb suddenly appeared before him. And the crazy part was, this thing could talk. This is your sea of consciousness. And the bolt of lightning from before was my creation. Who are you? Lin Shun was on high alert. I am the artifact spirit of the devouring heaven diagram. Shuelao. The entity replied. Then, from within the orb, a massive creature with the majestic form of a dragon emerged. The dragon explained that Lin Shun was the inheritor of the saintly vein body it had long been searching for. He was also to be the next successor of the devouring heaven diagram. Hearing this, Lin Chen's head was spinning. Saintly vein body, devouring heaven diagram. Both of these concepts were completely foreign to him. If you agree to my condition, I will bestow upon you my devouring demonic art. It will help you get your revenge. Shuelao said. This time, his words struck the deepest chord in Lin Chen's heart. Without a second thought, he immediately agreed, even without knowing what the condition was. All Lin Chen knew was that he would pay any price for revenge, even the highest one. And just like that, Lin Shun reached out his hand and touched the orb. A blinding white light erupted. In that moment, Lin Shun was completely reborn. He began a new life with a body brimming with power and a burning will for vengeance. And so, Lin Chen's journey of cultivation began. Later, Shuelao revealed something to him. In truth, even he didn't know the nature of Lin Chen's dreamscape. But when he awakened the saintly vein body, he discovered an incredibly powerful seal within Lin Chen's sea of consciousness. It was so powerful that even with his own abilities, he couldn't probe it for any information. To use a seal that strong means that whatever is sealed inside must be of immense value. Perhaps it's a great fortune meant for Lin Chen. In any case, this was good news for him. But for now, Lin Shun was in no hurry to explore that seal. After all, he wasn't nearly strong enough to even try. Meanwhile, elsewhere, it was the middle of the night. A group of riders was making their way through the Mo Mountains. The young woman leading them was Yun Qingru, the young mistress of the taiqing sect. Riding close behind her was her trusted subordinate, Wei Han. The journey had been uneventful so far. But suddenly, Yun Qingru ordered everyone to halt. The two scouts she had sent ahead were returning, reporting, "Young miss, we have scouted the path ahead." The two scouts knelt before Yun Qingru and began their report. But the fog is so thick that scouting was extremely difficult. We could barely see the road in front of us. Just then, a low growl echoed from behind the group. A chilling sensation washed over them. A sure sign of trouble. A demonic beast has appeared. The taiqing sect from the shadows. A massive demonic beast emerged. It's a Yuming giant wolf. Wei Han gently urged his horse forward. He declared with complete confidence that he would handle it. And the Yuming giant wolf seemed eager to oblige him. The moment the words left his mouth, the beast charged forward ferociously. Based on appearances alone, the difference in size between them was staggering. However, Wei Han, who had been so supremely confident, in that instant, all the color drained from his face. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Lin Shun was trapped in a nightmare. He dreamed of a bronze coffin. Inside it lay a terrifying, emaciated corpse, and a strange voice echoed, lingering in the air. Stay away from it, or sooner or later, you'll end up burying yourself in that bronze coffin. Every time the dream reached this point, Lin Shun would jolt awake, covered in a cold sweat, his breath ragged with fear. He had been having the same dream for several nights in a row. A sense of dread filled him, wondering what it all meant. So, Lin Shun decided to ask Blood Elder about it. Blood Elder, ever since I made that deal with you and awakened my sacred vein physique, I've been plagued by this nightmare. What in the world is going on? Back in the Mo Wu Mountains, Wei Han had just been swatted off his horse by the claws of a nether giant wolf. He let out a sharp cry of pain as he hit the ground hard. Wei Han couldn't understand what had just happened. He was so sure he had the upper hand against this beast. But now he was completely overwhelmed. After sending Wei Han flying, the nether giant wolf whipped around, its eyes fixed on Yin Qingru. The moment she realized it, the demonic beast charged viciously. With no wasted motion, it opened its massive fang maw and bit the horse Yin Qingru was riding clean in half. Fortunately, her qigong was excellent. She managed to leap backward just in time. Otherwise, she would have ended up in the beast's mouth herself. Damn it! Yin Qingru muttered a curse under her breath. Then, drawing her sword, she rushed toward the nether giant wolf. However, before they could even clash, a bolt of lightning struck down from the heavens. It forced both Yin Qingru and the demonic beast to retreat. When the lightning dissipated, a figure in black nonchalantly appeared. "Who's there?" Yin Qingru shouted. Across from them, the nether giant wolf let out a low, incessant growl. The newcomer wore a slightly arrogant smirk. He chuckled and said, "Well, look what we have here. A 6th-level Xiantian demonic beast. Who else could it be but Lin Shun?" Enraged by his sudden appearance, the nether giant wolf went berserk. It coiled its muscles and leaped high into the air, then charged straight for the young man. But, faced with such a ferocious attack, Lin Shun didn't even flinch. He formed a seal with his hands. This was the heavenly fire seal, the very martial art that Lin Han had once stolen from him. And, using it now, it was just as overwhelmingly powerful. Relying on the heavenly fire seal, Lin Shun summoned countless golden chains of fire. Then, he commanded the massive chains to shoot forward and bind the nether giant wolf tightly. No matter how large the beast was, it couldn't struggle free from their grasp. Next, Lin Shun unleashed his mystic fire command flame technique. Massive flames erupted from all sides, swirling together like a violent tornado. In a single sweep, they incinerated the nether giant wolf's enormous body. When Lin Shun recalled the mystic fire command flame, the nether giant wolf had been utterly defeated. Only then did Lin Shun finally allow himself to sit down. He let out a weary breath. Don't be fooled by his earlier confidence. In reality, that 6th-level Xiantian nether giant wolf was no easy opponent. It had taken a tremendous amount of his energy. But suddenly, just as he had dealt with the beast, a sharp spearhead was thrust right in his face. It was the impatient Wei Han, who had charged over. He demanded, "Who the hell are you?" His actions were incredibly rude. So rude, in fact, that Lin Shun didn't feel like answering. Seeing that he didn't respond, the other man grew even more agitated. He kept repeating his question over and over, but Lin Shun paid him no mind. He simply stood up slowly and walked over to the beast's corpse. "I can't believe it. A 6th-level beast, but its demonic core is on par with a 7th level. I've struck gold. I really struck gold. Haha." Lin Shun was lost in the satisfaction of his new discovery. Being completely ignored only made Wei Han even more furious. His rage felt like it was about to explode. "Stop playing dumb," Wei Han roared. "Speak. Who are you? If you don't talk, don't blame me for what happens next." This time, before Wei Han could finish his sentence, Yin Qingru signaled for him to be quiet and step back. Although Wei Han was reluctant, he couldn't disobey the young mistress's order. Then, Yin Qingru approached Lin Shun. She gracefully removed her veil. She then addressed him with the utmost respect. "I am Yin Qingru, the young mistress of the taiqing sect. My subordinate was out of line. I hope you can forgive him, sir. And thank you for your assistance just now. May I ask for your esteemed name?" Lin Shun never expected to meet the young mistress of the taiqing sect here. He knew revealing his true identity would be a problem. After all, Lin Han back home must be convinced that he was already dead. So, Lin Shun decided to make up a fake name, Wei Ran. He then claimed to be nothing more than a humble rogue cultivator, living in seclusion in the Moa Mountains. Hardly worth mentioning. Yin Qingru didn't doubt him in the least. In fact, she felt it was a stroke of good luck. She asked another question. "Mr. Wei, if you've been living in seclusion for a long time, you must be familiar with the paths around here. In that case, I'd like to ask, how does one get to Yahoo City?" "Yahoo City?" Lin Shun murmured to himself. "I wonder what business they have there." Could it have something to do with my Lin family? However, before he could answer, Xuelao suddenly appeared. This time, however, he took a much more delicate form, not the imposing dragon Lin Shun had first encountered. Poof! Well, hello there, beautiful. You've come to the right person. My little friend here knows exactly where Yehu City is. Even Lin Shun hadn't expected him to pop out so nosily. Unsurprisingly, everyone else was startled by Xuelao's appearance. Yin Qingruo's first instinct was to draw her sword and point it directly at Lin Shun. Her tone turned sharp as she demanded, "What in the world is that thing on you?" Seeing her hostile reaction, Xuelao whispered into Lin Shun's ear, "Oh my, little friend, why is this young lady so fierce? Can't she see how adorable I look? Now that you mention it, I was wondering the same thing. Why did you change into this ridiculous form? Well, I heard that women these days like cute things. So I thought." Lin Shun was truly speechless. Meanwhile, seeing the two of them whispering back and forth only made Yin Qingru more anxious. He felt as if the tip of her sword could pierce his throat at any moment. He quickly waved his hands and explained, "Whoa, calm down. He's just my spirit companion." But Wei Han didn't believe him. At the very least, he thought that even for a spirit companion, Xuelao was far too strange. He urged his young mistress not to trust some mountain bumpkin. The other taiqing sect disciples behind them agreed. They all raised their guards against Lin Shun, warning their young mistress not to trust him. "This spirit companion is the one I cherish most in this life. If you can't accept him, then at least don't insult him like that. We could just go our separate ways." Lin Shun replied calmly, then reached out and patted Xuelao on the head. It seemed his sincere demeanor made Yin Qingru reconsider. In the end, she sheathed her sword. She apologized to Lin Shun. "I apologize. It was due to my own ignorance. My behavior was unbecoming. I hope you can forgive me." Lin Shun didn't hold it against her. He replied politely, "There's no need for such words, Miss Yun." Just as they were speaking, the temperature seemed to drop several degrees. Large snowflakes began to fall. Soon, a heavy snow was upon them. Yin Qingru realized that such a heavy snowfall would surely block the path, making travel dangerous. She decided to set up camp there for the time being. She invited Lin Shun to stay with their group and asked if he would guide them to Yehu City after the snow stopped. Lin Shun agreed immediately. After all, he was already planning to go to Yehu City anyway. It wouldn't be any trouble to lead them along. In fact, blending in with the taiqing sect's group could even be beneficial for him. However, Lin Shun still ventured to ask one more question. He wanted to know their purpose for going to Yehu City. Yin Qingru didn't hide it. He told them straight up that they were heading to the martial arts tournament organized by the Lin clan. "You're all here for the tournament too?" Lin Shun was a little surprised. "Oh, don't tell me you also received an invitation from the Lin clan for the tournament, young master?" Yin Qingru asked in return, worried he might expose a flaw in his story. Lin Shun quickly denied it, explaining that he'd simply run into many other groups on their way to the Lin clan's tournament. The perceptive Yin Qingru seemed to notice the fleeting flicker of confusion in Lin Shun's eyes, but she didn't press him any further. She turned her head and ordered her subordinates to set up camp for the night. They would set out tomorrow after the snow had stopped. Seeing that Yin Qingru wasn't asking any more questions, Lin Shun finally let out a quiet sigh of relief. But he had no idea that their entire conversation had been overheard by a mysterious figure lurking like an assassin behind a nearby tree. What's more, this person recognized Lin Shun's build as strangely familiar. Suspecting that he hadn't actually died in the mountains, he began to plot, planning to follow him to find out the truth. He couldn't let Lin Shun's sudden appearance ruin the grand plans of his own young master, Lin Han. As if sensing he was being watched, Lin Shun, who had been walking, suddenly spun around. But behind him, there was only silence. The snow fell thick and heavy. No matter how hard he looked, he couldn't spot anything out of the ordinary. That night, with the moon high overhead, the blizzard had finally stopped. Yin Qingruo's group set up their tents with remarkable speed. They even prepared a spread of hot food and drinks. It had been a long time since he'd enjoyed such a fine meal. Lin Shun ate voraciously, his hunger seemingly insatiable. Yin Qingru was quite generous. No matter how much he ate, she cheerfully ordered her subordinates to bring out a few more dishes. In contrast, Wei Han, who sat beside them, wore a constant scowl. He clearly didn't like Lin Shun one bit. After eating and drinking his fill, Lin Shun stood up. He reached for his travel pack, about to leave the tent. But unexpectedly, Wei Han spoke up, his voice dripping with annoyance. Such a wild country bumpkin. Don't you have the common decency to stay seated while others are still eating? I'm going to take a leak. You want to come with? Lin Shun didn't hold back either. Snapping back irritably, Wei Han was absolutely infuriated by him. But Yin Qingru had forbidden him from being disrespectful to Lin Shun from the very beginning. So, all Wei Han could do was swallow his rage and curse him under his breath. He said he was going to relieve himself, but in reality, Lin Shun walked quite a distance from the campsite. Once he was sure Yun Qingru's group could no longer see him, he cleared his throat a few times and spoke up. Come on out. I've known you were following me for a while now. Was it Peng Xiao? It turned out that even though he hadn't caught him red-handed earlier, he was well aware that someone was stalking him. At that moment, the hidden figure knew he had been exposed. His first instinct was to flee. But Lin Shun had no intention of letting him get away so easily. He immediately took off after him. But in the dark of the forest, with snow covering the ground, the man was swift and Lin Shun quickly lost his trail. Before Lin Shun could even get his bearings, 5 arrows of pure qi shot down from the sky, heading straight for him. They looked ethereal, but their destructive power was immense. They instantly created a massive explosion. Smoke and dust billowed everywhere. Earth and rocks were sent flying by the blast. When the dust finally settled, Lin Shun stood there without a single scratch, protected by a shield formed from his own qi. Seeing his enemy resort to such a cowardly sneak attack, his gaze turned razor-sharp. He roared, "Who's there? Show yourself." From the shadows, a figure dressed entirely in black slowly emerged. It was none other than Lin Kuang. The moment he revealed himself, he spoke. "So, you really are still alive." His face was twisted into a despicable sneer. Though his words were deferential, his eyes were filled with contempt. Young Master Lin Shun. Seeing that it was Lin Kuang, Lin Shun couldn't help but grit his teeth. "You, Lin Kuang." After confirming his identity once more, he continued, "Lin Han's personal guard." Seeing him speak, Lin Xiong retorted with even colder sarcasm. "I can't believe the young Master Lin Shun still remembers little old me. I'm truly overwhelmed by the honor." His words went in one ear and out the other for Lin Shun. He just wanted to know what the man's intentions were. "Cut the crap. What are you doing here in the Moa Mountains?" Lin Xiong smirked. He looked at him like a juicy piece of prey. A dead man. Doesn't need to know. With that, he lunged like a starving tiger. He instantly unleashed his technique. Countless green hands materialized and shot straight for Lin Shun. Jade palm formation. But Lin Shun was no pushover. Seeing his opponent was serious, Lin Shun gritted his teeth and gathered his energy for a counterattack. With a gesture, he used his qi to draw a protective circle in the air. It formed a powerful shield that neutralized the incoming attacks, though the shield could stop the ranged energy blasts. With a single palm strike, Lin Xiong shattered his defense and pressed his attack on Lin Shun. Seeing no way to dodge, he met the attack head-on. Force against force, his hand became a fist, clashing directly with his opponent. The moment their palms collided, the backlash sent them both flying backward. Lin Shun quickly spun in the air and landed firmly on his feet, ready for more. On the other side, Lin Xiong was just as skilled. He used his hands to stabilize himself instantly. After taking Lin Xiong's attack head-on, Lin Shun couldn't help but think, his palm strike is so powerful. Seeing how easily he had deflected his palm strike, Lin Xiong's eyes widened and he grit his teeth. "You've reached the 6th stage of the Xiantian realm." Seeing that a single blow couldn't finish Lin Shun, Lin Xiong, and deciding not to let this drag on, he resolved to kill him with his next move. He channeled all his energy into his hands and charged. "In that case, I can't let you live." This time, the palm strike Lin Xiong unleashed formed a gigantic hand of pure energy. It shot directly towards Lin Shun. A massive explosion erupted. The surrounding trees were instantly blown away. Dust and smoke filled the air, making it impossible to see what was happening inside. It took a moment for the dust to finally settle. All that was left was Lin Shun's hat, crushed by a fallen tree. Lin Xiong casually walked forward, his hands clasped behind his back. He was sure he had successfully taken him down. With a contemptuous sneer, he scoffed. Trash is still trash. Suddenly, a voice called out from behind him. Lin Xiong. It turns out, the moment the palm strike hit, Lin Shun had already leaped into the trees. While Lin Xiong was distracted, he launched a fierce attack. It left his opponent utterly shocked. What? In a flash, the palm strike Lin Shun unleashed erupted into a blazing inferno, engulfing Lin Xiong completely. When masters fight, victory and defeat are decided by a single opening. Luckily for Lin Shun, Lin Xiong had underestimated him, but even so, to take him down, left him sweating as he thought to himself, good thing the guy looked down on me. That was way too close. Seeing that Lin Xiong was thoroughly cooked, crispy on the outside, tender on the inside, Lin Shun waved his hand. Mystic Flame Seal. After being roasted by his fire palm for a while, he was severely injured. He collapsed to his knees, groaning in agony. Lin Shun, noticing the distinct smell of barbecue coming from the man, walked closer and teased. Looks like you're cooked. Medium well. Guess that means he's finished. Lin Kuang was completely powerless to resist. Lin Shun simply picked his hat back up and put on, concealing his identity once more. He then stepped closer, questioning the man sternly. Talk. What did Lin Han send you here for? Realizing his internal arts were no match for his opponent, Lin Kuang resorted to empty threats, cursing at Lin Shun. You're gonna die a horrible death. Seeing the man was still running his mouth, Lin Shun decided he was done holding back. A fiery seal formed in his palm, ready to end him with one final blow. Still not talking, huh? Suddenly, a cold glint appeared in Lin Kuang's eyes. He growled through clenched teeth. Lin Shun. But what happened next was completely unexpected. The man lunged forward and grabbed onto Lin, sobbing and pleading for his life. Young master, please don't kill me. I'll tell you everything. Seeing the man's complete 180, Lin Shun lowered his hand. So you're not a complete fool. Lin Kuang, now prostrated on the ground, began to confess. Young master Lin Han sent us here, to the Mo Wu mountain range. We were sent to find the pure Yuan spirit mushroom. Hearing this, Lin Shun couldn't help but wonder. Pure Yuan spirit mushroom? Just then, the ancient blood spirit inside him spoke up. I never would have guessed that here, in the Mo Wu mountain range, you could find something as incredible as a pure Yuan spirit mushroom. He seems to know what that is. Lin Shun quickly asked, Shuelao, what's a pure Yuan spirit mushroom? Since you don't know, allow me to explain. The pure Yuan spirit mushroom is an extremely rare natural treasure. It is the condensed essence of countless pure Yuan spirit beads, and it holds an incredible amount of true qi. It can give your own true qi another massive boost. It might even be powerful enough to evolve your devouring chart. The thought of his power skyrocketing, of undergoing a complete transformation, made him imagine the day he could crush Lin Han under his boot. He grinned, needing to be sure. Really? Sensing Lin Shun's doubt, Shuelao confirmed it. Of course it's true. Have I ever lied to you? Realizing this was a major opportunity, he turned his attention back to Lin Kuang, planning to seize the prize for himself. Lin Kuang, where is this pure Yuan spirit mushroom? The man was now more obedient than a dog. Sweating, he stammered. It's in a swamp, about 5 miles north of here. Although he couldn't be sure if Lin Kuang was telling the truth, he figured the man wouldn't dare lie to him now. He turned to leave. Good, you can go now. But in that split second, his gaze remained sharp. He watched the man's every move. Seeing Lin Shun turn away, Lin Kuang thought his chance had come. A murderous glint flashed in his eyes. In an instant, he lunged forward in a desperate attack, determined to kill the boy before him. Lin Shun, I'll tear you to shreds. Without even turning his head, Lin Shun unleashed 3 waves of sword energy with a flick of his wrist. The attack ended him instantly. Lin Kuang took the full brunt of the assault. He coughed up a spray of blood, his eyes bulging wide. GHHK, his body collapsed heavily to the ground. Every last trace of life gone. Lin Shun strode forward, leaving his enemy's corpse lying in the white snow, not even bothering to cover it. But he had no idea that from behind a nearby tree, someone had witnessed the entire thing. It was none other than Qing Ro. She had seen Lin Shun head into the woods alone, and had secretly followed him. After witnessing everything, it all clicked. I can't believe he's the genius young master of the Lin clan. Wei Han, noticing she was still watching the boy, stepped forward to protect her, his voice low and grim. "Young mistress, that kid approached us. He's definitely up to something." Hearing his words, Qingro grew thoughtful. She couldn't imagine any reason for Lin Shun to seek them out. As his figure faded into the distance, she worried she might lose his trail. She turned to Wei Han and said, "Let's follow him and see what he's up to." "Yes, young mistress." Following Lin Kuang's directions, Lin Shun finally found it, the entrance to the pure origin spirit pool. He stood before a cave overflowing with spiritual energy. After a careful inspection, he confirmed it with a whisper. "The aura is so strong. This has to be the place." Just then, a group of people appeared below him, deep in a strategic discussion. Their leader gave the order. "In a minute, you'll lure out the Lion King beast. I'll go in and grab the pure origin spirit pearl." "Got it." His men responded at once. "Young Master Lin Han, don't you worry. You can lead it to us." It was none other than Lin Han and his cronies. After giving his men their orders, he waved his hand dismissively. "Very good. Now go." His kneeling subordinates roared in unison. At his command, the entire group charged into the pure origin spirit pool. Seeing his enemy in the distance, Lin Shun couldn't help but mutter, "Lin Han, so he's here too." Not long after his men charged in, the sounds of a brutal fight echoed from inside the cave, followed by piercing screams of agony. The same men who had been brimming with confidence just moments ago were now stumbling out as if they'd seen a ghost, fleeing the cave in absolute terror. They shrieked as they ran. "Young Master Lin Han, save us." The man in the lead was drenched in a cold sweat. He screamed, "Help! This thing is huge," seeing his pack of useless cowards running for their lives. Lin Han gritted his teeth in fury. A bunch of worthless trash. Just then, a monster emerged from the cave entrance. It was enormous, with the tail of a dragon and the head of a lion. A massive pair of wings sprouted from its back, and its body completely blocked the mouth of the cave. One of the men gasped in terror. "It's a third-order Lion King beast at the 9th level of the innate realm." Another man trembled as he turned to Lin Han. "What we do now, young master?" Seeing his men paralyzed with fear, he pulled 5 pills from his pouch. He held them out, his voice a tempting whisper. "Don't worry. Your young master came prepared. These pills will boost your strength. Dealing with this third-order Lion King beast will be a piece of cake. There's no such thing as a free lunch in this world." Yet his men took the pills without a shred of suspicion. "Thank you, young master." Watching from a distance, Shui realized what was happening. This Lin Han is truly vicious. He's actually giving them blood slaughter pills to fight a 9th level innate realm monster. Hearing that, something clicked for Lin Shun. Blood slaughter. Don't tell me Lin Han is trying to refine blood slaughter pearls. He's sending them to their deaths. The pills Lin Han had given his men were having exactly the effect Shui and Lin Shun had feared. That's right. The blood slaughter pill forces the user's dantian and true qi to condense into an incredibly powerful blood slaughter pearl. Before long, his men were writhing on the ground. They clutched their stomachs, crying out. It hurt so much. One of the men, sensing something was wrong with his body, trembled as he demanded, "Lin Han, young master, what in the world did you make us eat?" A far cry from the concerned master who had handed them the pills moments before. He shoved the man away, sneering. "I gave you exactly what trash like you deserves to eat. Once that pill is absorbed, it forms a blood slaughter pearl in your dantian. All it takes is a single external impact for it to..." Realizing they were on the verge of death, the remaining subordinates glared at Lin Han and cursed him. "Lin Han, you won't die a peaceful death." And just as planned, when his men crashed into the three-eyed pharmacist king, they detonated. Seeing the beast consumed by the blast, now on its last breath, Lin Han walked closer, laughing. "Now that's how you make use of worthless trash." Lin Shun, who had been observing from the shadows, couldn't help but feel a pang of sorrow for those men. To sacrifice the lives of our Lin family's 7th-level Xiantian geniuses for his own selfish gain. Lin Han, just wait until the family assembly. That day will be the anniversary of your death. Shui, noticing his distraction, spoke up. "Young friend, Lin Han has entered the cave. We need to follow him now." Seeing his opportunity, Lin Shun immediately gave chase. "It's about time I made my entrance." The cold-blooded and cunning Lin Han smirked. His gaze flickered behind him, as if he'd sensed something. Deep inside, the cave was a maze of rock and earth, completely shrouded in darkness. But Lin Han navigated the obstacles with ease, moving swiftly toward the heart of the cave. There, an underground spring had formed a small pool. In the center of the pool, a spirit pearl glowed with an ethereal green light, illuminating the chamber. At the same time, visible arcs of lightning crackled from its surface. Without a moment's hesitation, Lin Han stepped forward and froze the surface of the pool. This kept him from being submerged and insulated him from the lightning. After carefully making his way forward, the spirit pearl was now right before him. He reached out. A wide grin spread across his face as he marveled. The pure origin spirit pearl is mine. But just as Lin Han's fingers were about to touch the pearl, Lin Shun appeared out of nowhere, activating his mystic fire seal. He launched a devastating palm strike at him, as if he'd been expecting it. Lin Han instantly condensed his chi, forming a pillar of ice to block the attack. The moment they collided, the searing heat of the flame and the frigid energy of the ice erupted in a massive explosion, shaking the entire cave to its foundations. Through the dissipating smoke, Lin Shun emerged, radiating Elder Shue's aura. His body was now wreathed in the mystic fire seal. His eyes, more determined than ever, locked onto his foe, seeing that the newcomer was someone he thought long dead. Lin Shun. Lin Han couldn't help but gasp in shock. Lin Shun, you're still alive? Lin Shun had already formed a hand seal, ready to fight to the death. He declared with grim finality, Lin Han, today is the day you die. Despite his bold words, Lin Shun knew, I can't let him get his hands on the pure origin spirit pearl. If he does, with his 8th level Xiantian cultivation base, he'll break through to the next level, and I'll be no match for him at all. Hearing this, Lin Han immediately lunged forward. He leaped into the air, condensing frigid energy in his palm as he brought it crashing down. Are you asking to die? The frigid energy in his hand solidified, forming an ice spear that shot down at Lin Shun, but he dodged it in a flash. The ice spear shattered against the ground. Lin Shun channeled the mystic fire seal into his fist and threw a punch at Lin Han. Reacting instantly, Lin Han used his ice spear as a shield, parrying the blow completely. But because their opposing energies of ice and fire were in direct conflict, even a light clash between the two was enough to unleash a powerful shockwave. Seeing that Lin Shun couldn't even pose a threat, Lin Han began to taunt him. Is that all you've got? You think you could sneak around and follow me, and I wouldn't notice? Today, I'll show a piece of trash like you who the real genius is. He immediately gathered all his strength, unleashing the heavenly ice palm. A massive fist of ice shot straight toward him. Unable to dodge, Lin Shun borrowed power from Xuelao to create a shield and protect himself. Lin Han's full power attack couldn't even break through. It was instantly shattered. Seeing his attack blocked by the shield Lin Shun had created, he gritted his teeth in anger. What the hell is that thing? How did it block my heavenly ice palm? Xuelao seemed to have seen through Lin Han's true strength. He quickly turned to warn Lin Shun. You run. He's been hiding his cultivation level. He's already a 9th level innate master. Hearing this, Lin Shun was stunned. 9th level, innate realm? And that profound ice just now? Don't tell me Lin Han has cultivated the martial art of the Huntian sect, the heavenly ice profound art? Realizing that staying here was a death sentence, he immediately turned and bolted for the cave entrance. Damn it. Shui, get back. We have to get out of here first. But at that moment, the exit of the cave was blocked by a massive figure. It was the 3rd-rank medicine lion king, barely clinging to life. Seeing Lin Shun appear, it immediately moved toward him. Its body seemed to have recovered slightly. It was only then that Lin Shun understood why that bastard Lin Han hadn't finished it off. I'm screwed. How is this Lion King still alive? The 3rd-rank medicine Lion King had taken a brutal beating earlier. It was beyond furious. The moment it saw him, it redirected all its rage onto him. It lunged forward instantly, exhausted from his fight with Lin Han. Lin Shun's body was no longer agile enough to dodge the attack. He was struck by the Lion King's claws. Although he managed to avoid a fatal blow, he couldn't escape being wounded. He could only clutch his arm and curse. You goddamn beast. While Lin Shun was pinned down by the beast, That bastard Lin Han caught up. He immediately blocked the cave entrance, laughing loudly. Trash will always be trash. Seeing that he was grievously injured, Lin Han charged forward, channeling power into his fist. Trash, stay here and enjoy the third-rank medicine Lion King's wrath. With a single punch, a frigid aura instantly enveloped Lin Shun, freezing his entire body in a split second. Lin Shun's heavily injured body couldn't resist the freezing energy. He could only let the ice consume him. Lin Han saw no reason to linger with him and the Lion King. He pushed him toward the beast, letting the two of them keep each other company. Fend for yourselves. After that, he left the cavern amidst the sound of collapsing rock and earth. An unknown amount of time passed after Lin Han left. Qing Ro and Wei Han were now cautiously making their way into the cave. After scanning the area, he spoke. I only saw Lin Han of the Lin family leave just now. So that other kid must still be in here. Although she had also seen everything with her own eyes, she replied cautiously. Be careful. The aura of a 9th-level innate master still lingers here. Hearing this, Wei Han got a bit spooked. He replied in a hushed voice. Yes, young miss. As the two ventured deeper into the cave, they came across a pile of rubble. It looked like someone was buried underneath. Getting closer, they saw it. It was Lin Shun. His entire body was frozen solid, and he was buried under a pile of massive boulders. Only his head was sticking out. Seeing him in such a perilous state, Qing Ro cried out, It's him. Hurry, save him. Hearing Qing Ro order him around, Wei Han grumbled in annoyance. My lady, why should we save him? Seeing his reluctance, she explained gently. He can't die here, not now. But while the two were still arguing over whether to save him or not, from within the rubble, where Lin Shun was trapped, a flash of light erupted. Boom! Rock and debris were sent flying. A surge of blood-red energy took the form of a dragon right before their eyes. It turned out that even though Lin Shun was unconscious from his injuries, the old man was still conscious. Sensing the two of them had no ill intent, he manifested to plead for help. Young friends, could you lend me your strength to shatter this arcane ice? But as soon as he spoke, Qing Ro seemed to recognize something and asked, That voice, are you Elder Shui? Seeing that she seemed to recognize him, he didn't deny it and continued his plea. Indeed, it is I. Please, I beg you to help this young man escape. But Wei Han was still dead set against helping. He sneered back, And why should we help you? Seeing him stubbornly refuse, Qing Ro cut him off. Wei Han, show some respect. Mr. Wei helped us in the past. Helping him is the right thing to do. Seeing the displeasure in her expression, his face darkened. He answered, breaking into a cold sweat. My lady. After hearing Qing Ro's words, Shui sincerely thanked her. Then I thank you in advance, Miss Qing Ro. But she felt it was simply her duty. She replied graciously. There's no need to thank me. Beside her, Wei Han's gaze sharpened. His body began to channel its power. He hurled the spear in his hand, aiming it right at Lin Shun. Instantly, the spear struck the very top of the ice, imprisoning him. Crack! From the point of impact, countless fractures spread across the entire block of ice. Inside, Lin Shun seized the opportunity. He channeled all his strength. Boom! The ice block exploded. The blast was so powerful that shards flew everywhere, forcing the distant Qing Ro and Wei Han to shield themselves. Finally free, Lin Shun let out a breath and landed firmly on the ground. Seeing that Lin Shun was out of danger, Elder Shui was also relieved. Young man, I'm glad you're all right. But sensing something was wrong, Lin Shun asked in surprise. Elder Shui, what's wrong? Elder Shui no longer had the strength to maintain his dragon form. He retreated back into Lin Shun's body. I'm fine, just a little drained. The spiritual energy here is dense. Deeper inside this cave, there is another cavern. Once he was fully back inside Lin Shun, his thoughts shifted to a warning. But you all must be careful. The Three Medicines King is not dead yet. After seeing that Lin Shun was safe, and not wanting him to suspect they'd been following him, Qing Ro rushed forward and feigned ignorance. That reminds me. You said you were just stepping out to relieve yourself. So what are you doing here? Seeing Lin Shun's awkward expression, she casually continued her questioning. Could you perhaps explain something to me, Mr. Wan? Or should I say, young Master Lin Shun? absorbed in stabilizing the energy flowing through his body. He'd completely forgotten the other two were still there. Crap, I forgot they were still here. I need to come up with an excuse fast. Unable to think of a plausible reason, Lin Shin just gave an awkward smile and replied, "The moon is beautiful tonight, isn't it?" His reply left both Qing Ro and Wei Han utterly speechless. Still fuming from Qing Ro's scolding, Wei Han turned his anger on Lin Shan. He questioned him sharply. "You little brat. I've had just about enough of you. What are your real intentions for getting close to our young miss?" Seeing Wei Han's hostile reaction, Lin Shan quickly tried to de-escalate the situation. "Hey, calm down. Let's just talk this through." As the three of them were bickering, a low growl suddenly echoed from the darkness. At the same time, a tremor shook the ground. Startled, the three of them all had the same thought. What was that behind them? The boulders that Shui Lao had blown off of Lin Shan earlier had completely blocked the cave's exit. Wei Han turned, and seeing their predicament, couldn't help but curse. "Damn it, the exit is blocked." The third Medicine Lion King, having scented intruders in its territory, came forward to welcome them. It bared its sharp fangs at the trio, not forgetting to let out a welcoming roar. With an enemy before them, and their escape route cut off, Wei Han sprang into action. With a powerful leap, he shot into the air, gripping his spear tightly. Wei Han brought it down on the third Medicine Lion King, determined to fight it to the death. "Leave this to me. You get the young miss out of here." But the third Medicine Lion King was no pushover. As Wei Han charged in, it raised a massive claw and swatted him out of the air. Wei Han was sent flying by the single blow, slamming hard into the rock wall behind them. All bark and no bite. Over here, Qing Ro saw him get blasted away. He was clearly badly injured. She cried out in worry. "Wei Han!" Standing nearby, Lin Shin couldn't help but be stunned by the power of that attack. It took him out in a single blow. This third Medicine Lion King's cultivation must be beyond the 10th level of the Xiantian realm. The third Medicine Lion King seemed to go into a frenzy. Before Lin Shin and the others could even react, it lunged forward to attack again. Lion King's Cannon. The beast unleashed its skill, a roaring, lion-shaped blast of energy that shot straight for Lin Shan. To keep Qing Ro out of harm's way, he shoved her forcefully aside. "Miss Yun, run!" As she stumbled and fell away from the blast, she still managed to scream his name. "Young Master Lin." Seeing the massive energy blast rushing toward him, Lin Shan gritted his teeth, preparing to face it head-on. Damn it! There's no way to dodge. The attack drew nearer by the second, but he still had no way to counter it. He thought in despair, "I'm done for." But just then, a voice echoed from the depths of his mind. "You must be extremely careful of that coffin. Stay away from it, or you'll end up burying yourself in that bronze sarcophagus." Suddenly, a crimson light flared from the center of his forehead. A roiling torrent of energy surged within, struggling to break free. With a piercing shriek, the energy burst forth from his forehead, materializing into an ornate coffin that radiated an overwhelmingly powerful aura. In that same instant, the coffin's lid burst open. An intense light flooded out from within. Simultaneously, a colossal hand, covered in complex, glowing runes, reached out from inside. This was the heaven-suppressing palm. In an instant, a colossal fist materialized, smashing down upon the three medicinal Lion King. Despite the beast's immense size, it was snatched up in a single blow by that hand. The pressure was so immense it forced the beast to spit blood. At that moment, the three medicinal Lion King was like a helpless little animal, pinned down, unable to struggle. A moment later, the heaven-suppressing palm tightened its grip, crushing it into a bloody pulp. Gore splattered everywhere. Seeing this, Qing Ro and Wei Han could only stare in utter shock at Lin Shan, the one who had unleashed such power. They whispered in awe. What incredible technique! After successfully subduing the three medicinal Lion King, the heaven-suppressing palm retracted back into the coffin. At the same time, the coffin itself receded into Lin Shan's forehead. As his spiritual and vital energy were violently ripped away, he couldn't help but cry out, "Ack, the pain! My head feels like it's going to split open." Just then, a strange transformation began within his body. It was as if something was awakening from deep inside him. The supreme, heavenly, sovereign scripture. First art. Heaven submission. Streams of profound energy surged into his body, flooding his senses. Now, on Lin Shan's forehead, the crimson glow from before shone with even greater intensity. The torrent of energy began to overwhelm him. This technique, it's too strong. I can't take it anymore. From a distance, Wei Han saw Lin Shan writhing and clutching his face in agony. He couldn't help but wonder, what's wrong with him? But Qing Rose sensed what was happening. She warned him, something's wrong. Get back now. In an instant, Lin Shan's entire body was engulfed in a golden light. Arcs of lightning crackled and erupted around him. A blinding beam of light shot straight toward the cave entrance, blasting apart the boulders that had blocked their path. When the dust settled, the rocks that had sealed the cave had been completely blown away by the energy Lin Shan had just unleashed. Wei Han, who had witnessed the entire event, finally had to look at him in a new light. So this is the genius young master of the Lin clan. Lin Shan, having survived that life or death moment, felt his body completely drained of strength. He felt like he could collapse at any second. After he recovered his senses, he couldn't help but wonder, what has happened? The thing from my dream, it just appeared in reality. Just what is this bronze coffin? If its purpose was to be my tomb, why did it also grant me this power? Qing Ro, now safe from danger, slowly approached him. Her eyes were filled with admiration. She clasped her hands together in a martial salute. Thank you for your help earlier, Brother Lin Shan. Seeing her being so formal, Lin Shan returned the gesture politely. Please, Qing Ro, there's no need for such formalities. If anything, I should be thanking you both for freeing me from that mystic ice. But for some reason, Wei Han seemed determined to pick a fight with him. Insolent. Who gave you the right to address the young mistress by her name? But Lin Shan simply kept his easygoing smile and teased. I already did. What are you going to do about it? Outmatched in both strength and words. He was left speechless. Seeing Wei Han's overreaction, Qing Ro spoke in a stern voice. Wei Han, stand down. He still seemed unwilling to back down. Young mistress, he deliberately got close to us. I'm certain he has ill intentions. But Qing Ro paid him no mind. She looked at Lin Shan with a meaningful glint in her eyes. I trust that Brother Lin Shan isn't that kind of person. Though she spoke with sincerity, her mind was already racing. A genius like him. I had to find a way to get him to join my taiqing sect. Lin Shan saw her seemingly unwavering trust. He was filled with gratitude. Qing Ro, thank you for trusting me. The three-winged Lion King is dead. So, how about we check out the rest of this cave? Hearing his suggestion, Qing Ro was tempted, but refused out of concern for Wei Han. I think I'll wait for you at the camp, Brother Lin Shan. Wei Han is seriously injured. We need to get back to camp so he can be treated. Seeing that she still cared about his well-being, he couldn't help but feel a warmth in his heart. Thanks, young mistress. In the end, Qing Ro bid him farewell and left. We'll be waiting for you at the camp, Brother Lin Shan. Seeing how insistent she was, Lin Shan wanted to ask her to stay. But the spiritual energy in this cave is extraordinary. There must be some kind of heavenly treasure inside. But Qing Ro once again firmly refused. My taiqing sect has no shortage of such things. Then she turned back, looking at Lin Shan with a fond expression. She said playfully, if you really want to repay me, Brother Lin Shan, why not offer yourself to me instead? The moment she turned around, it was as if he was gazing upon a celestial paradise. He was left speechless. So beautiful. It's true what they say. Even the mightiest hero has a weakness for beauty. That one glance from Qing Ro was enough to steal his very soul. He mumbled involuntarily, I'll offer myself. But then he suddenly realized what he was saying. Lin Shan frantically covered his mouth. Wait a minute. What did she just say? She told me to offer myself to her? He looked in the direction Qing Ro had gone, completely lost in thought. Did I mishear her? Maybe I should just explore the cave first. Shaking off his distracting thoughts, he ventured deeper into the cave, following the Blood Elder's instructions. Deep inside the cave, Lin Shan discovered something that made him cry out in shock. There are 7 pure Yuan spirit pearls here. It turned out the spirit pearl Lin Han had taken was just the tip of the iceberg. A much greater opportunity lay hidden deeper inside. Time flew by. 3 days later, inside the cave, Lin Shan continuously absorbed the spiritual energy from the pure Yuan spirit pearls. He didn't eat or rest. meditating and cultivating day and night. In that short time, 2 of the pure Yuan spirit pearls were completely drained of their spiritual energy, dissipating into the air. Meanwhile, the remaining pearls provided Lin Shun with a boundless supply of spiritual energy, propelling his cultivation forward. As a result, his true qi surged. At the same time, his supreme martial skill also improved. The supreme martial skill has a special incarnation, and the incarnation of the heaven-subduing palm is the azure-robed one. A human-like figure, bathed in blue light, gradually formed before him. At that moment, he and the azure-robed one seemed to merge into one. Body and mind, moving in perfect unison. Fuse. The 2 consciousnesses blended into a single body. The aura around Lin Shun erupted with incredible force. Suddenly, his eyes snapped open. Sensing the time was right, he circulated the power within his body, slowly channeling the rose-colored energy toward his palm. With a single shout, "Release!" The palm strike he unleashed shot straight toward the cave ceiling, creating a massive explosion. Debris from a blast rained down on him, catching him completely off guard. "Damn it! You gotta be kidding me." Seeing the sizable boulder falling toward him, he quickly jumped to his feet and dodged to the side. Dodge! But while he avoided the big one, there were still plenty of smaller rocks. Inevitably, a piece struck Lin Shun right on the head, leaving a nasty lump. Ow, ow, ow. It was only then that Lin Shun looked toward the wall, where the force of the blow landed. It formed a giant handprint, pressed deep into the rock. These pure origin spirit pearls are incredible. I only used 2 of them, and the power is already this immense. In just 3 short days, your strength has skyrocketed. From the 6th level of the Xiantian realm, you've jumped to the 8th. And based on your true qi, you might even be comparable to the 9th level. Realizing how much time had passed, Lin Shun grew worried that his long absence would make someone anxious. It's been a few days. Qingro is still waiting for me at the camp. But after leaving the cave, he rushed back to the group's campsite. When he arrived, he called out happily, "Qingro, I'm back." But all that greeted Lin Shun was a desolate, empty clearing. The campfire had long since turned to ash. And now, in that moment, Lin Shun's heart sank. "But you said you'd wait for me." Just then, he noticed a piece of paper pinned to a tree trunk. "What's that?" A cold sweat broke out on Lin Shun's brow. He took the paper and quickly realized it was a letter from Qingro. The letter read, "Brother Lin Shun, Wei Han's injuries were too severe. He didn't make it. I have to take his body back to the taiqing sect to be laid to rest. Farewell." Reading this, Lin Shun's expression darkened. It was impossible to tell if it was from rage or grief. He clenched the letter in his fist. Lin Shun said to himself, "Brother Wei Han, rest in peace. I swear I will settle this debt for you." Immediately after, burning with hatred, he pressed onward. "Lin Han, just you wait for me." Finally, after days of relentless travel, he arrived. Yizhao City. Lin Shun looked up at the towering gates. Finally back in Yizhao City. Just then a guard shouted, "City entrance fee, 1 low-grade spirit stone." A man trembled as he pleaded, "Sir, I don't have any money. Please show some mercy." But the guard showed no pity, kicking the man hard. "You bastard. If you don't have money, what are you doing trying to enter the city?" Another guard walked over. "Let it go. It's not worth killing him over it." Hearing this, the guard Lin Hua snapped back. "Consider yourself lucky I'm in a good mood today." The man scrambled away as fast as he could. The guard sneered. Then, his eyes fell on Lin Shun. "You, pay the entrance fee. If you're broke like him, then get lost." Lin Shun smiled and began to search his clothes. "My good sir, of course I have it." But after searching and finding nothing, Lin Shun froze. "Crap, where did my money go?" Lin was patience wore thin. "Kid, stop wasting my time. If you don't have the money, then..." He paused. His eyes suddenly widened in recognition. "Wait a second. It's..." Lin Shun, of course, recognized him instantly as well. "Are you Lin Hua?" He quickly slung an arm around his shoulder. "Don't let anyone know I'm in the city." Lin Hua hesitated, then nodded. "Got it." Just then, another guard walked by, clearing his throat. "What kind of shady deal are you two cooking up?" Lin Hua quickly thought of a distraction. "Hey, look over there. There are tons of beautiful women outside the city." The guy's eyes lit up as he eagerly looked over. "Where?" Then, his expression soured. Where are the beautiful women? It's just a bunch of old hags. Lin Huijiu. Did I see that wrong? But in that brief moment, he had already successfully slipped inside. An unmistakable sorrow filled Lin Chen's eyes as he thought to himself. The Lin clan. I'm back. Now, an all-too-familiar scene unfolded before Lin Shun. Inside a small tavern, everyone sat around tables, chatting cheerfully with one another. As soon as the waiter saw him, he greeted him respectfully. Welcome, sir. Are you here for a meal or a room for the night? Lin Shen answered quickly. A room. The man said happily. Of course. Right this way, sir. As he stepped inside, someone couldn't help but stare intently at Lin Shun. But he paid them no mind and walked right past. Nearby, two other men were arguing heatedly. At the Lin clan's grand competition this time, my Long Tao sect will definitely come out on top. Bullshit. My Bahue sect is the strongest. Meanwhile, two beautiful women were gossiping excitedly. Did you hear? Young Master Lin Feng has already reached the peak 10th level of the Xiantian realm. He's even condensed the heavenly ice core. He's so incredible. I know, right? Young Master Lin Han is a true prodigy. Lin Shen frowned, thinking to himself. So he's already at the 10th level of the Xiantian realm? Defeating him won't be easy. Lin Shen approached the counter and spoke to the innkeeper. Innkeeper, I'll take a room upstairs. The innkeeper looked a bit flustered. Well, he then explained. Sir, you may not be aware, but the Lin clan's grand competition is happening these next few days. All the heaven grade rooms are already full. Lin Shen then asked, what about the earth or mystic grade rooms? The innkeeper immediately added, they're all taken too. All we have left is a yellow grade room. Without hesitation, Lin Shen told him, I'll take it. The innkeeper replied right away. Very good, sir. Please wait just a moment. Meanwhile, Wang Guang was shooting him a sharp glance. His eyes darted about shiftily. Lin Shen glanced over his shoulder. It seemed he had sensed the strange presence behind him. Lin Shen thought, that monk drinking wine? The innkeeper then said, Sir, your room is ready. Please follow me. Lin Shen, no longer concerned, followed. The innkeeper led him to his room. Sir, this is the room. Yellow grade, room 6. Lin Shen replied calmly. All right, you can go now. As soon as he stepped inside, he saw a simple room without even a proper bed. The bed was just a raised platform of brick and cement. He couldn't help but laugh at his own expense. To think that I, the proud young master of the Lin clan, would end up in the lowest grade yellow room. Whatever. I should get some rest. Night fell. The sky was quiet. A bright moon hung in the sky, illuminating the entire courtyard. In the courtyard, a strange young man was practicing his sword forms with a tree branch. The sound of the branch whipping through the night air was loud. The noise irritated Lin Shun, who tossed and turned in frustration. So damn noisy. What's that sound outside? He immediately threw open the window and shouted, Who's out there? Don't you know people are trying to... But he couldn't even finish his sentence. Lin Shun's gaze froze. He stared intently at the figure before him. Over here, the man was completely absorbed in his sword practice, oblivious to his surroundings. He just kept practicing, diligent and undisturbed. His footwork came to a sudden halt. The swordsman immediately raised his blade before him. A sword without heart. A blade that forgets, devoid of spirit. Then, his hand moved gracefully through the air. A dance of a sword, leaving no shadow. The swordsman's eyes turned cold. He glared, his voice like ice. Reversal of the azure sky. He unleashed a strike toward the heavens. Golden chi. Unleashed. The entire sky lit up with the sword chi radiating from him. Lin Shen watched in stunned silence. So strong. An aura like that. He must be a master of the divine arts realm. From what I know, only when a cultivator reaches the divine arts realm can they be said to have truly stepped onto the path of cultivation. What a waste for a man like him. And then, the swordsman's glare shot toward Lin Shun. It was clear he was wary of the stranger. The sword chi instantly changed direction, aiming right for him. The attack grew even more ferocious. For a moment, even Lin Shun was startled. His jaw dropped in shock. But the swordsman didn't kill Lin Shun. The force stopped just an inch from his forehead. The swordsman stared him down. He asked coldly, What's a waste? The swordsman's eyes were now locked on him. The tension between them was palpable. The swordsman studied him, then furrowed his brow and asked, "What did you just say was a waste?" Breaking into a cold sweat, Lin Shun pointed at the man's sword chi. "Nothing. It's just that using nothingness to guide your blade means you'll always be missing a part of the sword's true essence. His killing intent is overwhelming. I need to buy some time first. This person, he can see the flaw in my technique." The swordsman was taken aback. Finally, he retracted his killing intent. The sword chi slowly dissipated. The swordsman frowned. He said, "Then tell me, this sword, how should it be wielded?" Placing a hand on the windowsill, Lin Shun channeled his inner energy and leaped forward. "It's quite simple, really," he said, landing gracefully. "The sword is the path. You use nothingness to guide your sword's intent. With that mindset, you will never grasp the true way of the sword." According to Lin Shun, one must use their heart to feel and comprehend their own sword intent. A faint smile touched his lips. Lin Shun continued, "Use the heart to guide the sword." A fine saying. Hearing this, the swordsman completely dropped his hostile aura. He spoke respectfully. "You must be the one they talk about. The martial arts genius, the young master of the Lin family." "Lin Shun, I am Jian Wudao of the Sword Immortal Sect. It's an honor to meet you." Lin Shun eyed him warily. "You have mistaken me for someone else. My name is Wei Ran, not the young master of the Lin family." Now, it was his turn to be suspicious. How does this man know so much about me? Could Lin Han have sent him? Jian Wudao said cheerfully, "Brother Lin, there's no need to be so tense. I mean you no harm. It's just that my master once told me that there are only two people who could see the flaw in my heartless sword path. You are one of them." He gave a wry smile. "So that's how it is. Then I suppose there's no need to hide it anymore. But I'm very curious. Who is the other person?" Without hesitation, he answered, "Yun Qingru of the taiqing sect." Lin Shun's mind raced. It's actually Yun Qingru? If her talent is that extraordinary, why is her cultivation only at the 7th level innate realm? Jian Wudao then remembered something. "Oh, right, Brother Lin, there's one more thing I wanted to ask you. I was wondering if you'd be interested in joining me for a drink?" He happily accepted at once. Of course. Moments later, the two of them hit it off. Tiandao said, "Then let's go." Elsewhere, the next day, at the Lin family's martial arts arena, the crowd was buzzing with anticipation. Everyone had gathered for the event. Lin Shun let out a huge yawn. "Ugh, I'm dead tired," he thought lazily to himself. "Stayed up way too late talking with Brother Jian last night. I almost forgot today was the clan ceremony." Whispers rippled through the crowd. "Did you hear? This tournament is all about choosing the next heir to the Lin family. Everyone knows it's just a front to build up Lin Han's prestige. It's a shame young Master Lin Shun was killed and eaten by a demonic beast." Hearing this, Lin Shun shot them a sharp glance. His brow furrowed in anger. At that moment, a man seated on the main platform slowly rose to his feet. He possessed a regal and imposing presence. Facing the thousands gathered, he stood tall and unflinching. This was none other than King Yi Chao. His voice, amplified by his internal energy, boomed across the grounds. "All right, quiet, everyone." At his command, the entire crowd fell deathly silent. King Yi Chao looked on with satisfaction. "Excellent. First, on behalf of the Lin family, I thank you all for attending this grand ceremony today." During the ceremony, King Yi Chao stood and announced to the assembly, "Now, let us welcome our distinguished guests to the platform. First, we have the head of the Lin family, Lin Zhan," he continued, "the direct disciple of the Jian Xian sect, Jian Tiandao, as his name was called." He glanced over at Lin Shun and gave a subtle nod. Lin Shun understood at once. He grinned, returning the signal with a two-finger gesture. And the man with the long mustache is none other than, from the Wang family, Elder Wang Zheng, and beside him, from the Li family, Elder Li Yuanlong. Lin Shun watched from below, his mind racing. The Wang and Li families. Haven't they always been rivals of the Lin family? What are they doing here at our clan ceremony? King Yi Chao continued. And last but not least, let us welcome the Supreme Elder of the Lin family, Lin Xingyi. He will be personally presiding over this ceremony. So that dangerous-looking man is Supreme Elder Lin Xingyi. The recognition was instant. Lin Xin gritted his teeth. So it's the Supreme Elder himself. Once the introductions were complete, Xingyi's voice thundered across the arena. "Everyone, Welcome to the Lynn family's clan ceremony. He paused for effect. Then his voice boomed once more. The rule for this year's ceremony is simple. A battle royale. The moment those words were spoken, the crowd below erupted in shocked disbelief. A wave of fear washed over their faces. From the platform above, he continued. Anyone under the age of 30 with a cultivation at or above the first level of the Sciention realm is eligible to participate. The battle will continue until only 2 combatants are left standing. Those 2 will then face each other in the final match. If a disciple of the Lynn family is victorious, they shall be named the new heir of the Lynn family. The crowd was absolutely stunned. What? A battle royale? That's totally unfair. No kidding. How is anyone supposed to beat Lin Han? Just then, Wang Zheng leaned in and whispered, Family head Lin, the person we were looking for is here. Li Yuanlong, seated beside him, murmured, with that demonic monk to help, young Master Lin Han can eliminate any obstacle in his path. For this clan tournament, your son is guaranteed to win. Hearing this, Lin Zhan finally breathed a small sigh of relief. This time, I'll make sure Lin Han becomes the young lord, fair and square. Meanwhile, Lin Han, sitting beside him, looked incredibly smug. Even in a fair fight, I can still easily take first place. Lin Zhan couldn't help but feel proud. My son, that's the spirit. Listening to this crowd chatter on, Lin Chun was filled with contempt. All of you, just blabbering on. You want to compete with me? Lin Zhan gave a strained laugh. Nephew Xiandao, you must be joking. How could we possibly bully a junior like you? His eyes widened in anger. Who's your nephew? Just then, Xing Yi raised his hand, channeling his internal energy as he roared. Now, I declare. His voice echoed as he shouted before the hundreds of people. The clan tournament officially begins. And with those words, the crowd immediately charged forward, roaring. A massive brawl erupted just like that. Everyone in the crowd surged with killing intent. Anyone who stands in my way will die. At that moment, one of the men charged towards Lin Chun. I'm going to beat you to death. But he just stood there silently. He calmly reached out and flicked the man hard on the forehead. Instantly, the man collapsed to his knees as if all his internal energy had vanished. He said with annoyance, What a pest. Just then, a thunderous sound suddenly echoed. You bunch of trash. Lin Chen immediately recognized the voice. Lin Han. He landed with a delighted laugh. Come at me, all of you. Immediately, a bald guy nearby shouted back. The prodigies of my Panghui sect are not trash. Lin Han shot him a contemptuous glance. You don't know your own limits. The moment he finished speaking, he launched a devastating blow that sent his opponent flying. Skyju fist. Lin Chun took in the entire scene. As expected of the peak 10th level of Xiantian. Over there, a powerful surge of internal energy erupted from Lin Han. He immediately glanced over to assess the situation before him. But Lin Chen still didn't react. The palm of internal energy slammed towards him. Lin Chen instantly leaped aside, dodging it. He couldn't help but marvel to himself. Such destructive power. Seeing him dodge, Yin Guang offered his praise. So he was the one who attacked him. Kid, your moves aren't half bad. The moment he saw the man, Lin Chen recognized him. It's you, the monk from the inn. Naturally, he immediately struck back. Lin Chun channeled his internal energy and launched a powerful palm strike. But as soon as the strike hit Yin Guang's chest, a metallic clang rang out. The man gave him a cold, disdainful smile. A nice punch. Too bad it's useless against me. Of course, Lin Chen wasn't a fool. He realized it instantly. This is the golden bronze body tempering art. Then, Yin Guang closed his eyes. He began muttering some kind of sutra. Lin Chen couldn't understand what he was saying, but a dazzling golden light began to radiate from the man's body. One after another, clones began to split off from Yin Guang. Now, Lin Chun was surrounded by Yin Guang's clones. He stood between the real Yin Guang and his 6 clones. There was no escape. This was the technique. The 7 golden bronze men. A cloning technique. Lin Zhan looked extremely pleased. Is that monk the man you found? Not bad. With his help, Honor is sure to secure the young lord's seat. Yuan Long, who was beside him, replied. Clan head Lin, you flatter me. But inwardly, he sneered in contempt. This old fool. He's just the head of a single generation's clan, and he still puts on such airs. Meanwhile, Yin Guang's arms began to slowly rise, looking incredibly sinister. He was still muttering those strange scriptures under his breath. And now, as Lin Shun stood there stunned, the man was already preparing to strike again. A sharp vajra materialized from his hands. The moment the crowd saw him and realized who it was, they broke into an uproar. That's young Master Lin Shun. The young master is still alive. Lin Han couldn't help but scowl. Lin Shun, you really are a persistent ghost. But Lin Shun just replied calmly. Right back at you, my dear brother. Then, he pointed a finger at him and said contemptuously, if you've got the guts, make it to the final round. I'll show everyone who the true heir of the Lin family is. Of course, Lin Shun didn't refuse the challenge. He immediately shot back. We'll see who's the last one standing. Lin Zhan watched this unfold. Clearly displeased, he slammed his hand on the table and roared. Damn it! Lin Zhan then whispered to Yuan Long. There's been a change of plans. Tell your men to be on alert. The moment they get a chance, kill him. Slightly surprised, he asked. Kill him. When Lin Songxing returns, won't he have my head for this? Seeing his hesitation, the old man added an incentive. After this is done, I'll increase your payment by 30%. Hearing this, Yuan Long's eyes lit up and his tune changed instantly. Family head Lin, your business is our business. This elder will see to it that my men are properly instructed. A bystander snorted coldly, unable to hide his disgust. A bunch of fools. Meanwhile, Yin Guang caught the signal from Yuan Long. He sneered. So he wants me to kill him? Piece of cake. As soon as the thought passed, he charged straight toward Lin Shun. Face my Vajra fist. But of course, Lin Shun wasn't one to be underestimated. He immediately channeled his inner energy and summoned the flame of fury. The two streams of energy collided, creating a thunderous shockwave. In that instant, a moment later, as the dust on the stage began to settle, two figures were still standing firm. The first figure said nothing, but silently observed his opponent for a long moment. Yin Guang couldn't help but exclaim with grudging respect. Kid, you've got some serious power. Lin Shun replied nonchalantly. You're not so bad yourself. Monk. Again, he gathered his inner energy. A swastika symbol materialized instantly. It seems you're worthy of dying by my fist. He glared at Lin Shun as if he wanted to eat him alive and roared. Annihilation art. An unconcealable flicker of alarm crossed Lin Shun's face. That mighty fist was what Yin Guang called the Golden Fist. Its power was nothing to scoff at. After steadying himself, Lin Shun raised his hand and channeled his own energy. Heaven subduer. In less than 3 seconds, a massive explosion erupted, effortlessly shattering the swastika-shaped fist. Yin Guang was utterly stunned that his technique had been defeated so quickly. What? Before he could even process what had happened, a loud whoosh cut through the air. Lin Shun flew towards him in a flash. He unleashed a powerful blow aimed right at his opponent, sending Yin Guang spitting blood. A golden token flew out from his clothes. A line of red text was inscribed on it. With lightning-fast reflexes, Lin Shun snatched it and clenched it in his fist. He glanced at it and realized, this is the jade tablet for the golden body tempering art. Just then, a loud voice rang out, startling him. Congratulations, congratulations. Brother Lin Shun. I can't believe you defeated such a tough opponent. Lin Han laughed slyly, clenching his fists. Now, there are only 2 people left on this stage. In this final duel, I'll make you regret ever coming back. Lin Shun looked at his treacherous brother and asked, you managed to last this long, huh? Lin Han didn't say another word. Provoked by Lin Shun's taunt, he immediately roared, you're courting death, and lunged at him. At that exact moment, a loud voice shattered the tense atmosphere. Stop. The words had barely been spoken, when right below where Lin Shun stood, a figure appeared. The immense pressure forced him to shield his face and stumble back. Xing Yi immediately announced in a clear, loud voice. The first round of the Grand Martial Tournament has concluded. The winners are Lin Shun and Lin Han. Next up will be the final match. Facing the crowd, he added, during this match, killing blows are forbidden, and crippling an opponent's dantian is also forbidden. Any violation will result in immediate disqualification, according to the rules. The entire crowd was buzzing with excitement. The final showdown is about to begin. Yeah, I wonder who's going to win. Up above, Lin Zhan muttered to himself. I can't believe Lin Shun has grown this strong, this fast. But if I could deal with your father, I can deal with you. Lin Han then fixed his gaze on Lin Shun, his eyes filled with malice. Lin Shun, I suggest you forfeit this final match. Otherwise, I won't be holding back. But Lin Shun just smirked back at him, nonchalantly asking, Oh, really? Lin Han, do you dare fight me to the death? His eyes locked on Lin Han as he roared. A duel to the death. As the words faded, Lin Shun pressed him again. Well, do you dare? A cunning smile spread across Lin Han's face. I have no objections. You're the one asking for a death wish. Seeing that he didn't refuse, Lin Shun got exactly what he wanted. Then, Grand Elder, can we proceed with this death match? Xing Yi, of course, had no reason to stop them. As the judge, he simply announced loudly, Since both of you have agreed, before the entire audience, Xing Yi declared, the final championship match of the grand tournament will be a duel to the death. Begin. With that, he flew up, leaving the stage to the two contestants. Lin Han's inner energy flared. Lin Shun, I don't know where you get your courage, but are you really in such a hurry to die? Not backing down, Lin Shun retorted, I am. A bit of a hurry, you could say. He hadn't even finished his sentence before he lunged forward, adding, a hurry to send you to your death. In front of him, a massive wall of ice suddenly appeared as Lin Shun attacked. Their energies collided with a deafening crash. Then, a sly grin suddenly spread across Lin Han's face. It seemed he felt Lin Shun's strength was nothing worth his concern. He gathered his inner energy once more and immediately unleashed a powerful strike. Raging Lion's Fist. Lin Shun's feet moved in a blur. He instantly dodged and landed smoothly on the ground. But in that brief moment, Lin Shun cursed inwardly. Damn it, I used up too much energy in the battle royale just now. I need to find a chance to recover my true chi. Seeing the strained look on Lin Shun's face, Lin Han sneered. You think you can fight me with just that? I am now a true disciple of the Han Tian sect, and you are nothing but an ant. Lin Shun shot back defiantly. A true disciple? You mean the position you got by selling out your own brothers? As he spoke, he secretly began gathering energy behind his back. Lin Han scoffed at his words. Brothers, what are they worth? The only thing that matters is personal gain. At last, he could no longer contain his vicious ambition. Lin Shun, just die already. The moment he finished speaking, Lin Han threw a punch straight at Lin Shun. Dark Rock Strike. Meanwhile, during their verbal exchange, Lin Shun had finally finished gathering his power. Lin Han had just launched his attack, when Lin Shun immediately countered. Heavenly Flame Seal, Third Seal, Earth Flame. Lin Shun's fiery lotus shot forward. It instantly shattered Lin Han's incoming attack. The lotus platform surged with blazing power and continued hurtling straight for Lin Han. A ferocious look appeared in Lin Han's eyes. He frowned, glaring intently at Lin Shun. But of course, he wasn't giving up. His hands tightened around the ice sword once more. Lin Han was gathering his internal energy, preparing a technique. Heavenly Balance. Wind Origin Sword Art. Lin Shun was stunned by what he saw. So many elements, condensed into a mid-grade king-class weapon. Lin Han said nothing more. He was now completely focused on a swift, decisive attack. Wind Harmony Killing Fence. In that moment, he was so strong, it caught him a little off guard. Lin Shun's face went blank. Lin Han then pressed his assault. Lin Shun, I have to admit, I'm impressed you've made it this far. However, filled with smug satisfaction, Lin Han shouted, This is where it ends. Seeing Lin Han's final blow, Xian Dao shot to his feet, worried. Lin Shun, seeing his agitation, Lin Zhan reminded him. Swordmaster, mind your decorum. Xian Dao was so annoyed he was speechless. Just then, the icy blade flew towards Lin Shun once again. But of course, he was never one to give up. Reborn into a new life, the Lin Shun of today was far stronger. He gathered his internal energy in his hand. No one could see what happened. All anyone heard was the resounding crack of a weapon breaking in two. Lin Han's jaw dropped in disbelief. Lin Shun had caught the blade with his bare hand. And that wasn't all. The sword had shattered. The sight was beyond belief. Even Lin Zhan, Xing Yi, and Xian Dao couldn't help but gape in astonishment. Lin Han himself couldn't believe his own eyes. He immediately roared. What? At the same time, Lin Shun's voice boomed. Shatter. At his command, a massive explosion erupted. The crowd saw nothing, only heard the earth-shaking sound. Through the dust and smoke, Lin Han couldn't stop coughing. It was clear he was injured. Staring at the blood he'd just coughed up, he couldn't accept it. How? How is this possible? Lin Shun now stood before him, his voice grave. This was a duel to the death. Now face the consequences. In the end, Lin Han lowered his head in defeat. Suddenly, a blue lotus emerged from his body. Its color and fiery glow were dazzlingly beautiful, capturing everyone's attention. Lin Shun immediately asked, Shuelao, what is this? He quickly explained. This is the remnant essence of the king-class weapon after it was refined. Absorb it quickly. Your devouring heaven diagram can use this to advance to a low-grade king-class weapon. Lin Shun replied. All right, I understand. After a brief pause, he added, and now, it's time to deal with you. Lin Han couldn't help but scream. Lin Shun, if you dare kill me, my father will never let you go. But before he could finish his sentence, Lin Shun furiously stomped his head into the ground. Lin Shun's voice was ice cold. I told you, this was a life-or-death duel. Even if your father wanted to interfere, what could he possibly do? The man slowly pushed himself up, stammering, Please don't kill me. I'm sorry. Lin Han's face was covered in blood as he spoke. Just spare my life, and I'll tell you where your father is being held captive. Hearing this, Lin Shun was startled. He shouted, What did you say? My father? Now, at the mention of his father, old memories came flooding back to him. 6 years ago, on that disastrous night, Lin Shun walked alone through the wind and snow, surrounded by countless bodies. His eyes had become lifeless. He remembered it all so clearly. Father was the one who brought me to the Lin family. He did it so I could live on, and it was then that I met the man I would call my father. Even though we weren't related by blood, everything I, Lin Shun, have was a gift from him. Thinking about all this, the hatred inside him towered like a mountain. You damn bastards. Lin Shun could no longer hold back. He lunged forward, grabbing the man by the collar. Speak. What did you do to my father? Lin stammade in terror. I just told him that in the forbidden lands of the Holy Spirit continent, there was a secret technique that could cure your bizarre constitution. Hearing this, the rage in Lin Shun's heart erupted uncontrollably. Raising his hand, Lin Shun roared, Lin Han, you should never have lied to my father. Faced with his overwhelming fury, Lin Han was so terrified he could only stammer. No, don't. I'm begging you. But of course, Lin Shun didn't listen. In the next instant, he brought his hand down with crushing force. My father. No one is allowed to harm him. Seeing his son beaten so brutally, Lin Zhan cried out in shock. Hunter. As he watched his son lie motionless in a spreading pool of blood, panic finally seized him. Hunter, this is all my fault. He spat the name out through gritted teeth, his hands clenched in a tight fist. The sound of his knuckles cracking echoed in the silence. In the next moment, he shot toward Lin Shun. I'll make you pay with your life. But just then, Xingyi appeared in a flash, channeling his inner energy to block the attack as he shouted, Stand down. Lin Zhan was no match for Xingyi. He was sent flying backward. Staring him down, Xingyi's voice was ice. Lin Zhan, you know the rules. This was a life-and-death duel. Lin Zhan was so enraged that tears welled in his eyes. He let out a guttural growl. Slowly, Lin Zhan walked toward his son. To think he would fall in a life-and-death duel. Kneeling before his son's body, he began to sob. Hunter, I am so sorry. There was nothing more Xingyi could do. He continued his announcement. As a Grand Elder, I hereby declare, Lin Shun is the new young master and heir to the Lin family. The crowd below erupted in cheers. Lin Shun, Lin Shun, Lin Shun, and it went without saying. A look of immense pride spread across his face. Meanwhile, Lin Zhan and his followers all wore expressions of utter defeat. Xian Dao, on the other hand, was ecstatic. He couldn't stop grinning. Xingyi approached Lin Shun and presented an object to him. This is the key to our clan's supreme treasure. It is now entrusted to you, young Master Lin Shun. He then added a word of counsel. From this day forward, the responsibility of the Lin family's prosperity rests on your shoulders. He bowed respectfully. Thank you, Grand Elder. Clutching the key in his hand, Lin Shun made a silent vow. Father, do you see this? Your son, Lin Shun, has finally become strong. Across the stage, Lin Zhan's voice was cold as death. Did you really think that just by taking the young master's seat, this would all be over? Gazing at Lin Han's cold body, Lin Zhan's hatred burned with a terrifying intensity. You killed my honor, and you stole his position. As he spoke, tears streamed uncontrollably down his face. Then, he began to channel his inner energy once more. It's time we settled everything, right here and now. Xian Dao immediately swooped down in front of him, shouting, I'm here. Who dares lay a hand on Lin Shun? He glared at the older man. Lin Zhan, if you dare break the rules and kill Lin Shun, I will wash this entire Lin family in blood. Lin Zhan was seething with pure, unadulterated rage. Xian Dao, you. But he told himself, this kid is a direct disciple of the Sword Immortal sect. His cultivation is higher than mine. I can't afford to make an enemy of him. At that moment, Yuan Long swiftly descended. Young Master Jian, must you meddle in affairs that don't concern you? This Lin Shun has a vicious heart. He slaughtered his own clansmen. How could someone like him be fit to be the young lord of the Lin family? Wang Zheng chimed in. If Lin Shun truly becomes the young lord of the Lin family today, then from this day forward, our two families will sever all ties with the Lin family. Lin Shun looked at the old men and asked, So what do you want? Yuan Long spoke up. This matter, of course, should be left to the Supreme Grand Elder to decide. Xing Yi hesitated. Well, then, Yuan Long added with a sneer. I assume Elder Lin doesn't want to harm the interests of the family, do you? Xing Yi glanced over and said, The Lin family cannot lose face. But for the good of the family, let Lin Shun withstand a strike at 1% of Lin Zhan's full power. How about it? Lin Shun said nothing, but the look in his eyes didn't weaken before anyone at all. Seeing that everyone was silent, Xing Yi asked again, Are there any other objections? Down below, the crowd erupted in discussion. Someone, indignant on his behalf, spoke out. It was a life-or-death duel. Since when do you get punished for killing your opponent? This is completely unfair. Jian Dao immediately spoke up for him. Elder Lin, how can you commit such a blatantly biased act? Xing Yi said in a cold voice. I'm a grand elder of the Lin family. Naturally, I will consider the interests of the Lin family. Lin Shin scoffed, then added, 3 great elders ganging up on me. Looks like we're not settling this peacefully today. 1% of the power of a divine law realm expert? Fine, let's see it. As soon as Lin Zhan heard this, he roared. I'll grant your wish. Today is the day you die. And so, with both sides in agreement, everyone flew into the air, clearing the stage for Lin Shun and Lin Zhan. Lin Zhan immediately began to channel his internal energy. Have a taste of my divine power. He then unleashed a massive attack toward him. Primordial Finger. Facing the massive blaze, Lin Shun stood his ground, his expression unchanging. Instantly, Lin Shun's arm began to gather a terrifying amount of energy. He stared intently at his opponent and roared. My last 2 pure origin spirit orbs. Unleash all of your power at once. His hand clenched tightly around the swirling energy. A massive explosion erupted moments later. Lin Shun instantly coughed up a mouthful of blood. He then roared, Explode. At his command, a colossal explosion sent dust and debris flying everywhere. And now, standing below, Lin Shun's powerful silhouette had not fallen. Lin Shun wiped a smear of blood from his mouth and said, Lin Zhan, I took your hit. This is over. Seeing that he was still alive, Lin Zhan's jaw dropped in disbelief. This is impossible. Over on the side, Yuan Long and Wang Zheng clearly didn't want to see this outcome, but they could only stand there in silence. Jian Dao grinned, his eyes fixed on Lin Shun with amusement. Kid, you're really something else. Xing Yi also spoke. Lin Shun has withstood 1% of Lin Zhan's power. The matter of Lin Han's death is no longer open for discussion. Below, the entire crowd began to chant in unison. Lin Shun, Lin Shun, Lin Shun, Lin Shun, Lin Shun. Just then, Lin Shun descended from the sky. The Lin family's grand ceremony ends here. Everyone, please exit the arena. Jian Dao threw an arm around his shoulder like an old friend and said proudly, Brother Lin, you really were holding back. You got guts. Lin Shun said with a grin. A little gentler. That really hurts, you know. Just then, a booming voice thundered from the heavens. Lin Shun, You killed a true disciple of my Hantian sect. Did you really think it would end there? He looked up at the sky, his expression souring. The Hantian sect. Hearing this, Lin Zhan looked pleased. He muttered to himself, "It's him. He's right on time." It was Lu Tongtian. Staring down at him, he sneered. "It's been a while, young Master Lin." Seeing his old foe, Lin Shun roared with fury. "You." It was Lu Tongtian who conspired with Lin Han to steal my Tian's seal. Hearing this, a vile grin spread across Lu Tongtian's face as he looked down at the boy before him. At the same time, Xian Dao stepped forward. "Lu Tongtian, if you want to touch Lin Shun, you'll have to get through me first." Lu Tongtian's sneer remained. "Well, look who it is. So it's you. Yu Huang is still a guest of my Hantian sect. Are you sure you want to make an enemy of me?" Xian Dao broke into a cold sweat, staring at him in shock. "Yu Huang." But Lin Shun immediately stopped him. "Brother Jian, you've already done more than enough for me." He hesitated. Tongtian continued to provoke them. "Elder Lin, hand Lin Shun over to me, and my Hantian sect will be an eternal ally to the Lin family." Xing Yi said nothing, but his expression had turned grim. Xing Yi then spoke up. "Tongtian, my friend, Lin Shun is yours to do with as you please." Xian Dao lunged forward in a rage. "You goddamn old bastard." Lin Shun faced his opponent and declared loudly, "Lu Tongtian, I was the one who killed Lin Han. The consequences are mine to bear alone. You want to fight? You want to kill me? Bring it on." Lu Tongtian replied immediately, "Kill you? What a waste. Just hand over all of your martial techniques, and I'll spare your life. I'll even throw in 300 million prime spirit stones. What do you say?" Of course, Lin Shun was no fool. He immediately roared his defiance. At last, Lu Tongtian's patience wore thin. Channeling his internal energy, he shot forward. Then die. At that very moment, two more figures descended from the sky as a powerful voice cut through the air. Lu Tongtian stopped. Hearing that voice, both of them froze in place. A look of disbelief crossed their faces. Everyone else fell silent, waiting. The young woman who had just arrived announced, "An edict from the taiqing sect." Qing Ro, flanked by Yinran, spoke with authority. "The young master of the Lin family, Lin Shun, has officially been accepted as a disciple of our taiqing sect." Qing Ro then stared directly at Lu Tongtian and declared, "Lu Tongtian, do you intend to make an enemy of the taiqing sect?" Lin Zhan was stunned by the news. He immediately questioned it. A disciple of the taiqing sect? Xing Yi was equally surprised. The taiqing sect. Our Lin family has a hope of rising again. But Lu Tongtian just scoffed. Accepted as a disciple by an internal decision? And where's your proof? Qing Ro flared her internal energy. She held out her hand. The edict of the taiqing sect is right here. The command tablet let out a powerful hum. From this day forward, Lin Shun is an official disciple of the taiqing sect. If anyone dares to offend him or show him disrespect. But before she could finish, a bolt of energy shot through the air, shattering the edict to pieces. Qing Ro stared, her jaw dropping in shock. "What?" Gazing at her, Lu Tongtian was the picture of utter contempt. "I just disrespected you. So what? What I Lu Tongtian want? No one could stop me from getting." Lin Zhan was overjoyed. "That's right. Tongtian, as long as you kill Lin Shun, the Lin family will be yours to command." Hearing this, he couldn't hide his delight. "Your terms are very interesting, Uncle Lin." The moment he finished speaking, Tongtian launched a fierce attack at Lin Shun. Lin Shun was caught off guard. He never imagined his opponent would strike so ruthlessly without warning. As the wave of internal energy shot forward, the wind howled as it rushed toward him. But Qing Ro and Iran quickly jumped in to block it. "Brother Lin Shun, go now." Lin Shun was stunned. Qing Ro, but with a look of fierce determination, she shouted again. "We'll hold him off." As soon as she spoke, a powerful explosion of light sent a shock wave through the area. Seeing the two women before him unable to stand, he cried out in alarm. "Qing Ro," lifting her body, Lin Shun asked worriedly, "Qing Ro, are you okay?" She coughed up a mouthful of blood, but managed a weak reply. I'm fine." Lin Shun's gaze snapped toward his enemy. He roared with fury. "Lu Tongtian, you dare hurt Qing Ro? I'll kill you." As he spoke, Lin Shun channeled his internal energy, his eyes fixed on Tongtian. With his last word, he launched an attack at his opponent. Mystic Fire Seal. But his opponent seemed completely unfazed. Tong Tian swatted away the flames with a sweep of his hand. Lin Shun, you're pathetic. A mere celestial realm weakling thinks he can hurt me? Lin Shun panted, muttering in frustration. Damn it, I used all my strength. And at that moment, Tong Tian began to channel his energy once more. He condensed an immense amount of power. Tong Tian roared. D. Immediately after, the attack shot violently toward him. Just then, a familiar voice rang out. You will not harm the young master. Xing, he had just taken a fatal blow for him. Lin Shun was shocked he would do such a thing. After taking the full force of the attack, Xing he couldn't help but vomit a large mouthful of blood. Lin Shun's eyes widened. He yelled out in anguish. Elder Xing. Witnessing the chaos unfolding, Tong Tian couldn't help but let out a mocking laugh. Lin Shun rushed to his side. Elder Xing. But even as he was dying, Xing, he was still worried about Lin Shun's safety. Young master, run. But of course, Tong Tian wasn't about to let his target escape so easily. He charged forward. Spear of sundering flame. A triumphant smirk spread across his face. Tong Tian looked down at him. I'll use your favorite martial skill to send you straight to hell. With that, he thrust his weapon into Lin Shun's stomach, sending him flying. Fresh blood splattered everywhere. He gritted his teeth, trying to endure the pain. A loud thud echoed as Lin Shun crashed to the ground. A cloud of dust billowed into the air. Qingro was so worried she was crying silently. Then, she let out a piercing scream. At that moment, Xian Dao was also in a panic. He screamed along with her. Lin Shun, his blood now soaked a large patch of the courtyard. So much so that you could hear it dripping from a distance. Even though he'd been beaten to within an inch of his life, Lin Shun still forced himself to stay on his feet. Shui appeared, looking anxious. Kid, don't you die. Stay on your feet for me. Lin Shun's voice faltered. Sorry, Shui. Tong Tian stood before him, unable to hold back his praise. I never thought you had a martial skill that could summon an azure dragon. You've really been hiding your true power. Lin Shun scowled. Lu Tong Tian. Then, facing his opponent, he declared resolutely, even if I die, I'll never let you get what you want. He quickly summoned a surge of green inner energy, then continued. Fine, I'll be happy to oblige. Just then, a powerful voice boomed from the sky. Boy, haven't I taught you to never give up so easily? Lin Shun couldn't help but be surprised. He stammered. This voice. Tong Tian was also taken aback, and he began to speculate. Could it be? From within the transport gate, a figure slowly emerged, causing everyone to hold their breath. This man was none other than Lin Songxing. He looked toward the crowd, his voice cold. Let's see who dares to harm my son. The moment Songxing landed, a powerful gust of wind erupted around him. Lin Shun could finally breathe a sigh of relief. Exhausted, he looked at the man. Father. Meanwhile, Tong Tian was terrified by this overwhelming pressure. He gritted his teeth and said, Uncle Lin. Quickly supporting his son, Songxing said furiously, Don't you dare call me uncle. You dare to lay a hand on my son, the son of Lin Songxing? He then shot him a glare. Get out of my sight. Terrified, Tong Tian bowed his head low. Yes, sir. I will give the Lin family a full explanation for this matter. Lin Shun struggled to his feet and said to him, Lu Tong Tian, I, Lin Shun, swear this. 1 year from now, I will take your worthless life. From the moment Songxing appeared, he didn't dare say another word, only throwing Lin Shun a cold, sharp glare. Immediately after, Tong Tian hastily leaped away, fleeing to save his own life. Yuan Long cried out in his heart, terrified of the 36 stratagems. Fleeing is the best policy. Lin Zhan dropped to his knees. It's over. Wang Zheng also stammered. Clan head Lin. We'll be taking our leave now. Songxing, of course, had no patience for them. All of you get lost. Despite his heavy injuries, Lin Shun managed a happy smile. Father, you're back. Meanwhile, Qingro ran over to him, her face full of worry. Brother Lin Shun, dragging his battered body, his vision blurry, he slowly made his way toward her. Qingro. Songxing's heart ached as he supported his son. Shinner, you did well. Seeing them reunited, Xian Dao felt a pang of self-reproach. Perhaps choosing to just stand by and watch was a mistake, and so time passed. 3 days later, After being unconscious for several days, Lin Shun finally, slowly opened his eyes. Even the slightest movement sent a sharp pain through his body. Lin Shun wondered, "So painful. Am I still alive?" Hearing his voice, Songxing immediately turned around. "Shinner, you're awake." Lin Shun struggled to sit up. "Father, Lin Zhan plotted against you. Inside that forbidden land, there was never any cure for my condition." Songxing quickly reassured his son, "Don't worry. I've already dealt with Lin Zhan." Pausing for a moment, he happily presented something to him. "Shinner, congratulations on taking first place in the family's grand ceremony. This is the treasure of our Lin clan, the Yuanling Divine Mirror. I'm entrusting it to you for safekeeping now." Holding the large jade artifact in his hand, Lin Shun then spoke. "The origin spirit Divine Mirror. It seems to be sealed." Song Sheng then continued. "That's right. To break the seal, you'll need two more things. One is Lu Tongtian's heaven-shattering, sky-burning divine art scroll. The other is the heart of taiqing from the taiqing sect." Lin Shun replied at once, "Father, you want me to steal Lu Tongtian's martial arts?" At this, his gaze hardened with resolve. "I will do exactly as you say." He began to piece things together in his mind. The heaven-shattering, sky-burning divine art scroll. He must have stolen my Skyfire seal. To cultivate this very art. Song Sheng let out a hearty laugh, immensely pleased with his son's answer. "That's my boy. My time is almost up. As a final gesture, I'll leave you with a gift." Seeing Song Sheng slowly fade away, Lin Shun panicked. "Father, what's happening to you?" But his father quickly reassured him. "Don't worry. This is just a clone technique. My real body is still imprisoned in the Forbidden Land." Knowing his father was downplaying the truth to spare his feelings, Lin Shun was overcome with grief and helplessness. "Father, wait for me. I swear I'll come and save you." His father's hearty laughter still echoed in his ears, as if nothing was wrong. It was as if nothing had happened. Before the clone vanished completely, Songxing called out, "I'll be waiting for that day." His eyes fell upon a glowing pearl his father had left on the ground. "This is a restoration pill. It can heal any injury completely." As he swallowed it, he was deeply moved. "Father, thank you." Lin Shun looked toward the heavens, his resolve hardening once more. "I will become strong. So strong that everyone will have to look up to me." Just as he was lost in thought, the door burst open. "Brother Lin Shun, you're finally awake." Lin Shun was surprised. Qingro rushed in, looking all around as she asked, "Is Uncle Lin gone?" Getting to his feet, Lin Shun muttered grimly to himself, "I'm still too weak." Just then, a sudden jolt of spiritual energy shot through Lin Shun's body, startling him. "The origin spirit Divine Mirror. Where's my artifact?" He began searching frantically. Just then, Shui appeared. "Stop looking. The treasure has already accepted you as its master. Just think it, and it will appear." Following his advice, Lin Shun was stunned when it worked. "It's real." Standing beside him, Qingro was overjoyed as well. "This must be an ancient artifact. Congratulations, brother Lin Shun." Shui suddenly bellowed. "And you? So you finally decided to wake up? You little brat. You dared to reverse devour the artifact? You got some nerve, don't you?" Lin Shun pouted. "Old man Shui, I was wrong." But he stubbornly thought to himself, "I'd do it again." Then, Shui's tone softened as he advised him earnestly. "Lin Shun, if you ever face a situation like this again, just hand over the weapon. If you lose your life, you lose everything." Worried sick, Qingro chimed in. "He's right. This time, if Uncle Lin hadn't arrived when he did, the consequences would have been unimaginable." Seeing their worried faces, Lin Shun reluctantly replied, "I know, but he had his own thoughts on the matter. If I have to sacrifice my dignity, I'd rather die." Noticing his defiant expression, Qingro looked like she was about to cry. "Brother Lin Shun, please, don't make me worry like this anymore." Just then, his face was now inches from Qingru's. An awkward silence fell as they both blushed. Unable to stand the romance any longer, Shui faked a few coughs. There's a strong Gung Jin aura approaching from outside. "Hey, you two, want to go check it out?" They both quickly looked away as Lin Shun stammered a reply. "Sure." The source of the Gung Jin aura. Outside, a loud voice rang out. "You bunch of worthless trash. What's wrong? Didn't you eat breakfast? Get a move on." Two young men grumbled as they hauled a massive log. He's from the Wong clan. What gives him the right to order us around? Yeah, that lackey wouldn't dare breathe a word in front of our young master or the clan head, Lin Songxing. He'd be too scared to even clear his throat. From behind them, Wang Zheng gripped his whip, teeth clenched. What did you just say? The young man recoiled in fear. You? What are you going to do? His expression darkened into a wicked smirk. Kneel. Scream that Lin Shun is trash. A good for nothing. And I might just spare your pathetic lives. The first disciple hesitated. No, never. Young Master Lin Shun is no piece of trash. The other one immediately chimed in. That's right. He is the pride of the Lin clan. Wang Zheng seethed with rage. He raised his whip, ready to strike. You're asking to die. But just in time, Lin Shun appeared, his hand clamped firmly around the whip. Elder Wang Zheng. Disciples of the Lin clan. You dare lay a hand on them? Face flushed with fury, Wang Zheng bellowed. Who's the blind fool? Who dares interfere? But the moment he saw who it was, his scowl twisted into a forced smile. He quickly changed his tune. Who could possibly dare to strike a disciple of the Lin clan? As an elder, I will certainly not let him get away with it. Lin Shun, unimpressed by the act, spoke. Is that so? Because a moment ago, it looked a lot like you were about to strike a Lin clan disciple. Qing Ru chimed in. I saw it too. Shui of course piled on. Yep, I saw it too. Wang Zheng quickly tried to explain himself. It's all a misunderstanding. I was just testing the skills of these two fine young men. A complete misunderstanding, I assure you. Damn it, he cursed internally. Damn it all. Of all people, I had to run into this menace. Asterisk, and why is someone from the taiqing sect with him? Asterisk. But when the two disciples stood up and pointed, Young Master, he didn't just force us to move Lin Han's belongings. He was going to kill us. Wang Zheng denied it frantically. That's not true. I would never, Lin Shun replied. Lin Han is dead. His possessions, therefore, belong to the Lin clan. So I have to wonder, Elder Wang Zheng, what exactly were you trying to do? Lin Shun's mind raced. This Gungjin aura is incredibly dense. These must be Lin Han's things. The very things Wang Zheng was trying to steal. Wang Zheng stammered out another excuse. I was just moving them out to take a look, that's all. Without another word, Lin Shun effortlessly hoisted the massive log onto his shoulder. If you're done looking, Elder Wang Zheng, then this tree is coming with me. Wang Zheng could only grit his teeth. Of course, young Master Lin Shun, be my guest. Then, he turned to the two disciples. You two, go and get some rest. I'll handle this. Overjoyed, they both replied in unison. Wang Zheng's heart twisted in agony as he silently cursed. My Gungjin ancient wood, and my golden jade slips. They were so hard to get. Lin Shun glanced back over his shoulder. Elder Wang Zheng, if I hear that any disciple of the Lin clan runs into any trouble, I'll be sure to bring a few elders from Mount Tai to pay your Wang clan a little visit. Seeing this, he was speechless with anger. What a disaster. The moment he got back to his room, his eyes lit up. I've struck gold. I've struck gold. Blood Elder, not understanding his reaction, asked. It's just a needle made of ancient ironstone. Then, Lin Shun immediately picked up his prize. With this Gungjin Chi, I can finally cultivate the golden bronze body tempering art. Just then, Qing Ro came over and said, Big brother Lin Shun, hurry and give it a try. I'll keep watch for you. Seeing her earnestness, Lin Shun felt a little embarrassed. Sorry to trouble you then. The two then began to work together. Lin Shun then said, according to the records on the jade slip. Next, as he finished speaking, he immediately placed both hands on the base of the massive tree and channeled his internal energy into it. After a moment, his expression soured. Lin Shun's face paled. This is bad. From where he was, immense waves of energy began to surge forth. At that moment, a fellow sect member came in. Young Master, please be careful. If anything happens, come find us. He quickly replied, no problem. Qing Ro, worried, watched him intently and said, Big brother Lin Shun, you're hurt. Embarrassed, Lin Shun clutched his arm and said, it's just a minor wound. I'm fine. Remembering how Lin Shun had pulled her into his arms to shield her from the blow, Qing Ro felt a wave of happiness. She hesitated, then said, just now. Thank you. Seeing her flustered, he grew a little nervous himself. No, don't mention it. I'm the one who dragged you into this. Last time, it was also because of me. That brother Beihan got hurt. Qing Ro was stunned. Her face still blushing, she stared at him. Beihan? And then, a mischievous smile appeared on her lips. It was unclear what Qing Ro was thinking. Then, she immediately reminded him. Oh right, big brother Lin Shun. You have to remember, you owe the taiqing sect a life. He added guiltily, I will definitely compensate his family. Qing Ro then suggested, I heard that. To absorb the Gingjin Qi, you first need to circulate the corresponding cultivation technique. Why don't you try again? Lin Shun quickly took her advice. Circulate the corresponding cultivation technique. Let me try. Lin Shun then shut his eyes tightly. He simultaneously began to circulate his internal energy. Golden bronze. Body. Tempering art. Then, he sat silently beside the massive tree trunk. Once again, Lin Shun focused on circulating his internal energy. Qing Ro stood to the side, watching in silence. Her eyes were filled with faith in him. From Lin Shun's hands, a dazzling golden light suddenly erupted. He felt as if countless streams of vibrant life force were flowing out from the tree. Qing Ro watched, overjoyed for him. Looks like it's working, but Lin Shun still wasn't satisfied. No, this is too slow. He quickly slammed both palms deep into the tree trunk. Lin Shun immediately roared. Devour. Absorb it all. Seeing how dangerous this was, Qing Ro cried out in fear. Big brother Lin Shun. You can't. But it seemed to be too late. From his body, 3 different auras of internal energy were swirling around him. He tried to wipe the sweat from his cheek and reassured her. It's okay. Just watch me. But moments later, unable to keep his balance, Lin Shun collapsed to his knees with a sudden cry. It's so painful. Master Lin Shun is in danger. Terrified, Qing Ru pushed open the door and rushed out. No, I have to find the Lin family's grand elder now. Lin Shun was completely paralyzed. All he could do was stare helplessly in Qing Ru's direction. Just then, a strange light suddenly appeared. Lin Shun stared at the object, his heart pounding with tension. The ancient bronze coffin. Are you here to bury me? But at that very moment, the coffin's power seemed to suppress the strange energy raging inside his body. Finally, Lin Shun managed to sit up. He stared at his own hand in astonishment. Lin Shun sat up completely, wondering to himself, did you come to bury me? Or to help me? Just then, Xing Yi's voice called out. Young master. He rushed in and immediately asked, Young master, are you all right? Lin Shun slowly got to his feet. I'm fine. Sorry to have worried everyone. He inwardly sighed. That was too close. But thankfully I succeeded. My golden bronze body forging art has finally broken through to the first stage, the bronze body. I just wonder how powerful it is. Qing Ru pouted, still worried. That was so reckless. Don't you ever do that again. Lin Shun gave an embarrassed, wry smile. You're right, my mistake. Xing Yi, feeling a bit awkward, cleared his throat and cut in. Well, I'm just glad you're all right. Young master, please go clean yourself up. Afterward, please come to the council hall. Hearing this, a concerned Lin Shun immediately asked, Is something the matter? Xing Yi didn't hide anything and answered truthfully. It's about you joining the taiqing sect, young master. Soon after, Lin Shun made his way to the council hall alone. He muttered to himself as he walked. Joining the taiqing sect is already a done deal. What's left to discuss? As soon as he stepped inside, someone was already there waiting for him. Congratulations on your recovery, young master. This way, young master. This man is the current head of the Lin family, Lin Ning. Lin Shun simply gave a cool nod. Lin Shun then took a seat. He then asked, So what is this about? Has something changed regarding my entry into the taiqing sect? Xing Yi looked thoughtful. No, nothing like that. It's just that after the taiqing sect, the Immortal Sword sect also sent a message. They're also inviting you to join, young master. Hearing the name of that sect, Lin Shun grew pensive. The Immortal Sword sect. Could it be because of the way of the Immortal Sword? Lin Ning then prompted him. We await your decision, young master. Just as he finished, Qing Ru came running in. Brother Lin Shun. Behind her, another girl looked on, clearly annoyed. She let out a cold snort. Pretty boy. A bit about this girl. She is not Qing Ru's handmaiden, but rather Bai Yinxian, an inner disciple of the taiqing sect at the 10th level of cultivation, known by the title, The Ice-Cold Beauty, Innate Ability, present since birth. As she came in, Qing Ru said to him, "The Immortal Sword Sect and the Taiqing sect are both among the 3 great immortal sects. I wonder which one you'll choose, Brother Lin Shun." Lin Shun hesitated, pointing a finger. Well, he weighed his options. I can't afford to offend either of these sects. At that, Qing Ru sighed. When Wei Han was alive, he always admired you so much, Brother Lin Shun. Lin Shun quickly made his decision. I choose the Taiqing sect. A pang of guilt struck him. I'm sorry, Brother Wei Han. I will protect Qing Ru for you. Meanwhile, all of a sudden, as if on cue, Wei Han lets out a few sneezes. And just like that, she turned to him. Well then, you're coming with us. Right now. Seeing how blunt she was, Qing Ru looked a little embarrassed. That's just how Sister Bai Yin is. Please don't take it to heart. Lin Shun replied with a faint smile. It's fine. Then, Bai Yin shot another hostile glare his way. Pretty boy. Lin Shun broke into a cold sweat. Did I do something to offend her? A moment later, Lin Shun stood and addressed them with respect. Supreme Elder. Acting head of the family. This time as I depart. I don't know when I'll be able to return. I hope the 2 of you can work together to restore the Lin family to its former glory. Xing, he couldn't hide his joy. Yes, of course. Young master. In your hands. The Lin family's name will surely shine brighter than ever. As the group stepped outside, Wang Chung and Yuan Long were already lying in wait. The 2 of them were lurking in the shadows. One whispered to the other. Elder Yuan, this kid's rise is unstoppable. If this keeps up, things won't end well for us. Maybe we should pay a little visit to the Hantian sect. A sinister smile spread across Yuan Long's face. We absolutely cannot let that brat get any stronger. Soon after, a massive ship arrived. Its sides were exquisitely carved with a pair of golden dragon serpents. Xing, he explained to Lin Shun. This is the flying treasure of the Taiqing sect. The void-crossing dragon snake ship? Before he left, Xing, he pressed something into his hand and gave him a final instruction. Young master, these are 100,000 top-grade spirit stones. Take them for now. Lin Shun was a bit taken aback. Supreme Elder. From aboard the ship, Qing Ru called out. Big brother Lin Shun, we have to go. He immediately answered back. I'm coming. Xing Yi waved, like a grandfather sending off his grandson. Out there. Remember to be careful. He replied. Lin Shun will remember. Just then, a familiar voice called out. So you're here. Lin Shun was startled. He thought to himself. That voice. The moment he saw Wei Han standing there, Lin Shun screamed in shock. A zombie. Wei Han angrily grabbed him by the collar. What did you just say? Lin Shun stammered. Aren't you supposed to be dead? Annoyed, he started roughing Lin Shun up. Who are you calling dead? But he stubbornly answered back. You're dead. Wait, no. After they got back on their feet, Lin Shun, still confused, asked. Qing Ru, what about Wei Han? Qing Ru quickly changed the subject. Big brother Lin Shun. I just remembered I have something to take care of. I'll go on ahead. And with that, it finally dawned on Lin Shun. Dice you played? Just then, Yang Zhou appeared, speaking with utter contempt. A toad lusting after a swan's flesh. You're just a mere 8th level Xiantian, and you still dare to dream of young Lady Yin? Wei Han immediately thought to himself. He's not wrong about that, but he couldn't hold it back any longer. What the hell does that have to do with you? Yang Zhou instantly unleashed his internal energy. Who do you think you are, talking to me like that? Kneel. Just then, Lin Shun placed a hand on his shoulder. Channeling his own energy into him, he helped Wei Han stand firm against the pressure. Then, flaring his own power, he stepped in front of Wei Han. If you got the guts, come at me. Yang Zhou smirked, his eyes fixed on Lin Shun. You got some nerve. Think you can stand up to me? Then prove it. Defeat me. But Wei Han, extremely worried, quickly tried to stop him. Kneel or die. Lin Shun, get out of the way. That's Luo Yangzhou. He's a Xiantian realm cultivator. Be careful. He was also chosen to be an inner sect disciple this year. You can't beat him. But Lin Shun was resolute. A man can live without pride, but he can't live without a backbone. I would rather die than kneel. Seeing his defiance, Luo Yangzhou's anger flared. You're asking to die. Fine, I'll play along. Lin Shun calmly replied. I'd be happy to. Just then, Iran, who was standing nearby, spoke in a cold voice. Luo Yangzhou, that's enough. Iran turned to leave, warning them as she went. If you two want to fight, you'll have a chance sooner or later. But if you insist on fighting now, Don't blame me for what happens next. Surprisingly, Luo Yongzhou actually seemed wary of her. He scoffed, turned, and walked away. How boring. Before leaving, he glanced back at him. Lin Shun, is it? How much money did your family have to spend to get you chosen as an inner sect disciple? He walked away, seething. Lin Shun quickly stepped in. Let it go. It's fine. Right after, Iran stepped into the center of the formation. She began to channel her inner energy. The eyes of the carved dragons and serpents suddenly flared with light. A moment later, the boat began to move. Below, everyone gasped in awe. A few hours passed. The boat had reached a vast expanse of open sea. The waves crashed violently against the hull. Iran continued to guide the boat forward. She closed her eyes and chanted an incantation. Seal of the taiqing formation. Open. As she finished, a surge of inner energy shot toward the massive wave ahead. Standing at the bow, Lin Shun stared at the scene unfolding before him. So this is the taiqing Immortal Island? Before them, disciples of the sect soared through the sky on flying swords, a truly celestial sight. The place was nothing short of a paradise. Meanwhile, a loud voice boomed from another boat. We finally made it to the taiqing sect. The voice alone was enough to send a chill down everyone's spine. Baowan would like to see. His eyes narrowed as he spoke in a cold, hard voice. Since today is the inner sect disciple selection, just who is worthy of inviting me here? And so, the moment began for the selection of the new inner sect disciples. The scene changes to the taiqing sect. Seeing them arrive, the disciples already waiting there called out in welcome. Welcome, brothers, to the taiqing sect. Lin Shun couldn't help but be impressed. What incredible presence. So grand. The moment Su Tian saw Qingru, he rushed over, sobbing. Granddaughter, you're really back. Do you know? She sighed, a weary smile on her face. I know, Grandpa Su. I came back to enter seclusion. Then, Qingru turned to Lin Shun. Brother Lin Shun, I'll be waiting for you in the inner sect. Lin Shun replied with a smile. I'll definitely come find you. Su Tian's eyes were fixed on him. It was clear he didn't want anyone getting close to his granddaughter. Nearby, Luo Yongzhou ground his teeth in bitter resentment. A spot in the inner sect belongs to me, Luo Yongzhou, and the beauty will be mine as well. Iran then turned to Lin Shun. Go to the front of the sect and report in. The other chosen inner sect disciples should have arrived by now. The sect disciples began to look their way. Those two must be the junior brothers that senior sister Bai Yin brought. Iran seemed a little surprised and asked her junior brothers, why is one person still missing? The two disciples reported back, looking troubled. Senior sister Bai Yin, that guy Bao Wang, he's just too strong. We couldn't get him to come. He specifically demanded that one of the chosen inner sect disciples must go. To invite him personally, Luo Yongzhou saw his chance to shine. Senior sister Bai Yin, I, Luo Yongzhou, am willing to go. 10. That disciple, get down here. He thought smugly. I like to see for myself. Just who is so arrogant that they dare to steal my thunder. But she glanced at him with a hint of disdain and asked, are you even up to it? Just then, two others arrived and couldn't help but taunt him. Well, look what we have here, an 8th-stage innate. An 8th-stage innate becoming an inner sect disciple? He must be something else. Why don't we just let this fine brother here go do the inviting? Bai Yin grew annoyed, her voice turning cold and scornful. Wang Ying, Li Changxiao, what are you two doing here? Wang Ying held out his hand to her. Senior sister Bai Yin, we're just concerned for you. We came to solve this little problem for you. Luo Yongzhou immediately chimed in. Are you two joking? This Lin Shun doesn't even have half my cultivation. Sending him up there is a death sentence. Wang Ying immediately added. Exactly, an 8th-stage innate. He must have gotten in through connections. Nearby, Wei Han quickly whispered a warning to him. Lin Shun, those two who just showed up are from the Wang clan. Eneli clan. They're ranked 2nd and 3rd among the Earth-ranked disciples. Right behind senior sister Bai Yin. They're known as the Swarm Brothers. A cunning smile appeared on Lin Chen's face. The Wang clan. Eneli clan. So that's how it is. Bai Yin paid the noisy group no mind. She snorted coldly and turned away. Then she turned to Lin Shun and said, Lin Shun, if you can get the Tyrant King to come down, I'll reward you handsomely. She wondered to herself. He managed to survive an encounter with Lu Tongtian. This guy, he should be able to handle it, right? Lin Chen immediately replied. I'll bring him down. Afterward, Lin Chun approached the large vessel by himself. A booming voice echoed from within. Some blind little brat has come knocking. You here for a taste of my fist? Lin Chun answered. Tyrant King, it's time to assemble. I suggest you come down now, unless you want to be punished when the time is up. A wave of internal energy shot towards Lin Chun as the man roared. What did you just say to me? Who the hell do you think you are? From the side, Wang Ying sneered. Brother Li, looks like Lin Chun is finished. We can go collect our reward from the elders now. As the energy blast neared, Lin Chun's eyes narrowed, his expression turning to ice. He reached out and clenched his fist around the energy blast. Then, Lin Chun hurled the power back at his opponent, shouting, Tyrant King, stop messing around. At that moment, a huge explosion erupted. The Tyrant King finally flew out from the vessel. You're courting death. He stared intently at Lin Chun. You dare disturb me? Looks like you've got a death wish. Lin Chun thought to himself, this physical body, it must be a mid-tier king-grade artifact. Then, Lin Chun flew up, reaching out to catch his fist. Subduing Heaven Palm, he immediately used his other hand to clamp down on the Tyrant King's fist, roaring. Explode. Instantly, the Tyrant King gritted his teeth, his eyes turning ferocious as he glared at Lin Chun. Then, he let out a savage roar. And just like that, a massive tiger materialized behind the Tyrant King. A moment later, the Tyrant King suddenly felt a sense of dread and shouted, This is bad. Seizing the opportunity, Lin Chun yelled, Heavenly Fire Seal. As soon as the words left his mouth, the Tyrant King was sent flying, while Lin Chun remained completely unscathed. He wipes the blood from his face. His expression darkens. Kid, you've really pushed me over the edge now. Bao Wang charges forward once again. Try this on for size. This one's a killing blow. Elder. Lin Chun is startled. This is bad. Then, just as Bao Wang expected, Lin Chun can't withstand the blow. Stunned, he is knocked backward. Lin Chun grits his teeth in frustration. Picking on me because I don't have any spirit stones to recover my true chi? As Iran is about to rush forward, the other two quickly grab her arms. What are you doing? Calm down. Miss Bai Yin. Don't worry. This kid is tougher than he looks. Bao Wang looks at him with contempt. And here I thought you were so tough. Turns out this is all you've got. Might as well just die. Shuef finally appears and says, Kid, the Heaven Devouring diagram has become a low-grade king rank artifact. Now, let me show you what it can really do. Lin Chun is surprised. You successfully repaired it? Shuai replies, That's right. Immediately after, Lin Chun quickly uses the powerful item. He channels his internal energy and immediately flies up. A nearby disciple watches, unable to hide his shock. What is that? Bao Wang looks at him scornfully. So you're not dead yet, huh? Not even crippled. Meanwhile, Iran is furious. She roars, Get out of my way. Wang Ying is secretly annoyed. Damn it. He managed to survive again. Nearby, Yang Zhou taunts him gleefully. Lin Chun, I told you not to rough up that fatty. Learned your lesson now, haven't you? Let me tell you something. Next time you see me, before he can finish his sentence, he gets punched so hard he nearly gags. Wincing in pain, he angrily whips his head around. Who was that? You got a death wish. Bao Wang glares at him, annoyed. Got a problem? Yang Zhou, slightly intimidated, forces a smile. No, nothing at all. Please continue. Iran then speaks. Now, I'll be distributing the contribution plaques. Each one contains 1,000 contribution points. Use them wisely. Lin Chun is surprised, but Iran immediately explains to him. On Taiqing Island, as long as you have enough contribution points, you can exchange them for anything. Lin Chun wonders, 1,000? But the plaque you gave me says 10,000. She then hands him the plaque and says, This is your reward. Lin Chun. He looks at the plaque in his hand, thinking to himself, 10,000. And there are more benefits to come. Another kind senior brother then speaks up. Junior brother Lin Chun. This is the Taiqing sect's Jade Slip. It contains a basic introduction to the sect. Lin Chun replies humbly, Many thanks, senior brother. Iran then addresses everyone. In 10 days, will be the selection for inner sect disciples. At that time, outer sect disciples at the 10th level of the Xiantian realm will come to challenge you. Don't you dare embarrass me. Yes, senior sister. Pleased with their response, Iran says loudly. Very good. Use these next few days to familiarize yourselves with Taiqing Island. All right, Dismissed. At that moment, Bao Wang suddenly walks up, claps him on the shoulder, and says, "Kid, I know you're still holding back. Don't disappoint me in 10 days. That bastard. The next time we meet will be the day you die." Bao Wang seemed completely unfazed. "Huh, kid, you hold an even bigger grudge than I do. Oomph. Enough with the trash talk." Lin Shun clutched his shoulder, wincing in pain. "Damn, that hurts." He hadn't gotten far when Wang Ying's voice suddenly cut in. "Junior brother Lin Shun, don't we still have a score to settle?" Lin Shun replied. "What now? A disciple from the Wang clan? What's your excuse this time? You here to donate some more contribution points to your junior brother?" He sneered. "Lin Shun, know your place. I was being generous. You ruined the plans of our Li and Wang families. What do you think you deserve for that, huh?" He really didn't want to get tangled up with these two psychos. Lin Shun turned back, his brow furrowed in annoyance, but he didn't want to escalate things. Suddenly, he shouted, "Senior sister Bai Ran, junior brother Wei Han, over here for a second. I need you two to be witnesses for me." Lin Shun thought to himself, "My true chi is completely drained. I can't deal with him right now. I'll just have to stall for a bit and figure something out." Hearing this, Wang Ying was a little surprised. He wondered, what's he up to? Hearing the loud shout, Wei Han quickly ran over. "Senior brother Lin Shun, what's going on?" Lin Shun quickly played the victim. "These two senior brothers here just told me that in 10 days they want to spar with me. The wager is 1 million supreme grade spirit stones." Chang Xiao gritted his teeth and shot back in frustration. "When the hell did I say 1 million? Then, with a contemptuous sneer, he taunted, "What, you can't afford it?" Enraged, Chang Xiao lunged forward. But Wang Ying immediately blocked his path and said, "Fine, as you wish." But of course, he had his own sinister thoughts. He's a dead man anyway. Agreeing to his terms doesn't matter. After the two of them left, someone spoke to him. "Lin Shun, you're being far too reckless. Stop causing more trouble for the young mistress." Wei Han also stepped forward to speak with Lin Shun. "Senior brother Lin Shun, those two sworn brothers always stick together. They won't be easy to deal with. Maybe you should." He immediately cut him off. "We know each other so well. Don't call me senior brother. How about you try calling me big brother Lin Shun?" Hearing this, Wei Han decided to just ignore him. "Goodbye." Lin Shun put on a wounded expression and called out, "Don't go." Afterward, Lin Shun walked on alone, lost in thought. I have to get stronger in these next 10 days. From what Lin Shun had learned, Taiqing Island was divided into 3 main areas: in Yuncheng, the Xingtai, and the Lianyaoyu. The scene shifts to the inside of Yuncheng. As he arrived, he marveled at the sight. So this is the great Yuncheng. Truly lives up to its name. I wonder what kind of powerhouse is in charge here. If I want to get my hands on a large amount of spiritual energy, this trading city is the place to be. In Yuncheng, the core trading area of the Taiqing sect, Shuai Lao quickly responded. "This pagoda seems to be a supreme grade king rank artifact. If you could just snatch the will of the king from it." Lin Shun said as he walked. "Shuai Lao, I wouldn't dare try to steal it even if I had 10 lives." The old man spoke with disdain. "Pathetic. You have no ambition." At that moment, a cheerful woman by the roadside smiled at him. "Welcome, sir. Please come inside." Lin Shun swallowed hard, his heart aching. The entrance fee is 90 contribution points? What a ripoff. The moment he walked in, he was left in awe. So this is everything Dark Cloud City has to offer. Shui added. But it's nothing special. TCH, this old man thinks otherwise. He then turned, his eyes gleaming with desire as he looked at something else. A masterpiece. A king artifact. But when Lin Shun saw the price, he quickly pulled the old man away. 850,000 contribution points. We couldn't afford that even if you sold me. But old Shui was stubborn. I don't care. I want this one. I want it. Faced with this, Lin Shun couldn't help but rub his temples. All right. Let me see if I can figure something out. He silently made a vow to himself. Next time, I'm definitely teaching those two sworn brothers of mine a lesson. And Yangzhou, too. I can't let Bao Wang off the hook either. Suddenly, someone from across the room pointed toward his counter and shouted, You. Yeah, you. Hurry up and get my things ready. If you don't, I'll make you regret it. The person beside him spoke respectfully. Young Master Lei, I really don't have enough contribution points today. I'll definitely have them ready for you tomorrow, all right? Mu Sheng's face darkened. Tomorrow, then? But if you don't have my things by then, I'll make sure you get a taste of what I'm capable of. Then he saw Lin shun and, in his frustration, took his anger out on him. What the hell are you looking at? Lin shun replied calmly, his voice cold. So what if I am? The area suddenly fell silent. Everyone's gaze was now fixed on Lin shun. Mu Sheng let out a cunning smirk. Kid, you new here? Pretty bold, aren't you? How dare you talk back to me? His two lackeys standing beside him sneered. Where did this country bumpkin come from? He doesn't even know our young master lay? Now, that's a rare sight. Seriously, what a hick. Finally, he couldn't take it anymore and had his underlings shove him. They threatened him. Kid, if you know what's good for you, apologize to young Masterlay right now. Yeah, that's right. Hand over your contribution points, and we'll let this slide. But just then, Lin Shin spoke up again, completely ignoring them. Hey, shopkeeper, could you please tell me the rules for trading on the second floor? The two henchmen were furious. Hey, you bastard. Don't you dare ignore us. Insolent punk. Lin Shin was starting to get annoyed. He shot a sharp glare at the two of them. He repeated, insolent. Then he turned his back on them once more and asked, what was that about assisting me? The two henchmen were stunned by his sudden shift in attitude. They were too startled to say another word. They retreated behind Mu Sheng, forcing an awkward laugh. 10 days. That's right. We were the ones who provoked you first. Seeing his underlings, he felt disgusted. These two useless pieces of trash. Shui then spoke up. All right, shopkeeper. Hurry up and tell us. We're in a hurry. The shopkeeper looked flustered. My apologies, sir. On the second floor, there's a specialized appraisal room. If you want to have an item appraised, you must pay a fee of 5,000 contribution points. Then he added, oh right, after the item's value is determined. They also take a 1% commission. Lin Shun finally understood. So that's how it works. The two goons whispered into their master's ear. Young Master Lei, are we just going to stand here and watch like idiots? He replied, of course not. Meanwhile, Lin Shun spoke again. Shopkeeper, can I get a low-grade taiqing spirit vein? The shopkeeper answered immediately. Of course. Mu Sheng then said, don't be in such a hurry. Meanwhile, Lin Shun spoke up. Here's my identification token. He thought to himself, it's not every day you meet a guy this interesting. We have to take our time and play with him a little. Mu Sheng didn't even wait for Lin Shun's reply. A cunning smile spread across his face. Let's wait. Let's see what tricks he has up his sleeve. Just then, the shopkeeper's gaze froze. He stared intently at the token in his hand. Looking back at Lin Shun, he stammered. Are you really? In the next moment, overjoyed, he practically yelled in Lin Shun's face. You're really a specially selected inner disciple. Lin Shun forced a smile. Hey, watch where you're spitting. The shopkeeper just laughed, his enthusiasm growing even more intense. Honored guest, please wait just a moment. I'll find that white azure spirit herb for you right away. Where is it? Did my wife take it to soak her feet again? Here is your white azure spirit herb. Honored guest. Lin Shun thought. So, is this the one that was used for a foot soak? The entire shop was now silent. Lin Shun continued. Well then, thank you, shopkeeper. The contribution points have been paid. I'll be taking my leave now. The shopkeeper quickly replied. Of course. And please, spread the good word about our shop. The crowd murmured amongst themselves. So he's a specially selected inner disciple. No wonder he dared to offend young Master Lei. Mu Sheng immediately rushed forward. Follow him. His two lackeys immediately agreed, scrambling after him. Seeing them follow, Shui grew wary. Lin Shun. Those guys are probably up to no good. He immediately replied. I know. After a slight pause, he added. They're just a bunch of clowns anyway. Soon, he arrived on the second floor of the Dark Cloud Pavilion. This place was a hub of commerce, flowing with wealth and resources, cultivation methods, artifacts, elixirs, and even intelligence. All sorts of vendors filled the space, a chaotic mix of the good and the bad. Many inner disciples could also be found mingling in the crowd, all for a common purpose. Just then, the door to a room slowly creaked open. The man slumped over in his chair, fast asleep, was the item appraiser. Here, everyone. Sought higher profits through appraisal. Lin Shin walked in and tapped on the table. Excuse me, senior. The old man jolted awake, sitting up straight. Lin Shun smiled pleasantly and said to him, I'm here to sell something. The man's eyes slowly opened, his gaze fixed on Lin Shun. His name was Old Hay. He then said to the boy, show me what you've got. Lin Shun hesitated for a moment. Do you have a blank jade slip? The old man was surprised. Lin Shun then explained. What I want to sell is a martial technique that I created and inscribed myself. Old Hay looked at him with skepticism. Hey, kid, you can't be serious. Lin Shun smiled brightly, confident. I'm perfectly serious. I just wanted to give a try. Old Hay's face hardened, and he spoke in a cold voice. You're only an 8th level Xiantian. What makes a kid like you think you have that kind of ability? Lin Shun tried to persuade him. But, senior, what's the harm in letting me try? Old Hay shouted. Try what? His yell echoed through the room. In my shop, you listen to me. Otherwise, get out. Just then a loud voice cut in. You should learn not to underestimate people. Hearing this, Hao was stunned. He couldn't help but gasp. The newcomer was Yun Lin. He spoke immediately. What's going on here, Hey Lao? And Yun Lin was the manager here. Hao immediately stood up. Manager, you've come at the perfect time. This kid is here just to cause trouble. Lin Shun quickly retorted. That's not true. You're the one who was deliberately making things difficult for me. The old man immediately shouted. Making things difficult? Shouldn't you be well aware of your own capabilities? He shot back. You're just biased against me. While the two were locked in a heated argument, Mu Sheng suddenly walked in. Well, what's all this now? Yun Lin was a little surprised. Young Master Lei. Then he asked him, what brings young Master Lei here today? Mu Sheng announced loudly. I just came to enjoy the show. He paused for a moment. His gaze shifted slyly towards Lin Shun. And while I'm at it, I'll see what kind of pathetic display that piece of trash who crossed me can put on. As he spoke, he pointed directly at Lin Shun's face. Lin Shun paid him no mind. Instead, his expression grew even colder. Then, without even giving him a second glance, he turned away. Fool! Mu Sheng was seething with rage. I heard that. Humiliated, he couldn't hold back his roar. You bastard! How dare you curse at me? You little punk! As he spoke, he channeled his inner energy, his eyes burning with fury as he glared at Lin Shun. You're asking to die. With a crazed look in his eyes, Mu Sheng charged straight at Lin Shun. Dodging the attack, Lin Shun shouted, Shuelao, absorb the spiritual root now. At that same moment, a hand shot out, striking the space between the two. The sudden move startled Lin Shun. Yun Lin stepped forward. Fighting is forbidden in the Manhwa Tower. I don't want to see a repeat of what just happened. Then, he cheerfully handed something to the young man. Little friend, here is a blank jade slip for my personal evaluation. Lin Shun replied immediately. Many thanks, senior. Mu Sheng sneered, his face filled with angry contempt. A country bumpkin at the mere 8th level of Xiantian wants to inscribe a martial art? As if you have that kind of talent. The man beside him chimed in. That's right. He's in way over his head. Behind them, Hey Lao, who was dressed entirely in black, thought to himself, this kid is about to fall flat on his face. At that moment, Lin Shun immediately channeled his inner energy. Power of the sundering flame, a venom to corrupt all things. Born of the flame that sunders, the might of the mystic fire, a vast and confounding gate, to burn all to nothing. Yun Lin's eyes suddenly widened. A supreme martial art. He was inwardly stunned. Since when did the taiqing sect produce a talent like this? Finally, Lin Shun successfully completed the inscription, letting out a slow breath. Then, he gave Hey Lao a disdainful look. Inscribing a martial art. Is it supposed to be difficult? You. The old man stammered in embarrassment. Then, Lin Shun turned to Yun Lin and spoke respectfully. Senior, could I trouble you to arrange a stall for me? I'd also like to pay the appraisal fee. He replied with great interest. Selection trial disciple. Lin Shun. So you're the renowned martial arts prodigy from the Lin family. He humbly demurred. I am unworthy of the title prodigy. Yun Lin beamed, clearly pleased. The Lin family head, and I go way back. Just call me Uncle Yun. As for the appraisal fee, that won't be necessary. Lin Shun quickly complied. Thank you, Uncle Yun. Seeing this, the other student ground his teeth in fury. Damn it. The guy beside him asked. Young Master Lei. Now, what should we do? Mu Sheng unleashed his fury on his subordinate. You useless idiot. First, we get our hands on that supreme martial skill. Then, we'll deal with Lin Shun. He stammered in fear. Why yes, sir. Just then, Lin Shun spoke up again. Uncle Yun, could you please appraise this for me? Just then, Elder Shui chimed in. Kid, Are you really sure you want to sell the Xianhua seal and the Fire Demon manuscript? Lin Shun reassured him. It's fine. It was stolen from Lu Tongtian in the first place, anyway. Seeing the item, Lin marveled. These are the first 2 stances of a supreme martial skill. They're worth 250,000 contribution points. Mu Sheng's jaw dropped. What? Lin Shun tossed Elder Shui into the air in celebration. 250,000. We're rich. He was spun around until he was completely dizzy. He yelled, "Put me down." Now all eyes were on him. Young Master Lin, could you sell that martial skill for a little less? I'll give you 100,000 contribution points. 100,000. I'll bid 150,000. Lin Shun stated his price calmly. 250,000. Non-negotiable. Just then, another student decided to join the fray. 250,000. I'll take this supreme martial skill. Does anyone dare to challenge me for it? The crowd murmured and parted, making way for him. It's Lei Xiao. It's young Master Lei. Get out of the way. Lin Shun shot him a contemptuous glare. My martial skill is not for you to take. With that, he held up the token. The first 2 stances of this supreme martial skill. The minimum bid is 150,000 contribution points. Mu Sheng yelled furiously. What? He then turned and threatened the crowd. Buying this skill is a direct slap in my face. And you all know the consequences of that. And just like that, the crowd fell silent, intimidated. Forget it. We can't afford to get on Lei Xiao's bad side. Lin Shun gritted his teeth in frustration. Damn him. Mu Sheng then turned back to lowball him. So what do you say? 10,000 contribution points. Take it or leave it. His lackey sneered, riding his master's coattails. You really think you can go against our young Master Lei? You got a long way to go, kid. Just then, another voice cut through the crowd. I'll take that supreme martial skill. Mu Sheng spun around, shouting in irritation. Who dares? Huh? But his face fell in terror the moment he saw who it was. Yun Qing, is that you? The girl snapped back contemptuously. Shut your mouth. Who are you calling little sis? Yun Qing then turned to Lin Shun. I only have 200,000 contribution points on me right now. Will you sell it to me? He looked at the girl, taken aback. This aura, half-step divine law realm. Lin Shun didn't hesitate. He immediately offered her the skill. If you want it, then it's yours for 200,000 contribution points. Yin Qing looked delighted. Thank you. Then, looking at the jade slip in her hand, she blushed and said, Your name is Lin Shun, right? Then I'll call you Brother Lin Shun, okay? Yin Qing then handed him another jade token. Brother Lin Shun. This is the jade token of my Qing manor. If anyone dares to bully you, just show them this. Of course, he didn't refuse. Then, thank you. But now Lin Shun couldn't help but wonder. Qing manor. Yin Qing. What's her relationship with Qing Ro? The ever-innocent Yin Qing waved excitedly at him and said, Brother Lin Shun, see you later. Suddenly having a powerful backer, he felt incredibly smug. A satisfied smile crept onto his face. Mu Sheng gritted his teeth in fury. Lin Shun, so what if Yin Qing is protecting you? Just you wait. I'll make you disappear from the taiqing sect for good. As soon as he stepped out of the treasure pagoda, Lin Shun clutched the bag of items, wanting to cry his eyes out. All 200,000 of my contribution points. Gone just like that. Shui immediately shot back. Weren't you the one who spent it all? Lin Shun glared back at him. Okay, sure, I bought these 300 strands of taiqing spirit stones. But what's this disguise pill and meridian pill? Shui immediately explained. The meridian pill is for when you break through to the 9th level of the Xiantian realm. He pressed on. So, what about the disguise pill? A single one cost 20,000 contribution points. Exasperated, the old man roared. Wasn't I looking out for you? That Lei Mu Sheng punk isn't going to let this go. Killing a fellow disciple is a serious crime. Lin Shun was deeply moved. He quickly reached out to hug Elder Shui. Elder Shui, I was wrong to blame you. The old man couldn't hide his disdain. Get off me. Stay away from me. I don't know you. Just then, Shui sensed an oppressive presence focused on Lin Shun. His eyes immediately sharpened with vigilance. Instantly, he warned the boy, Lin Shun, be careful. They're tailing us. Lin Shun's face darkened. In such a hurry to die. Let's head for the demon domain. There's no one around there. Meanwhile, Mu Sheng and his 2 cronies were getting impatient. He's speeding up. Don't let him get away. After him. His men immediately responded. Yes, young Master Lei. The scene shifts to the Demon Domain Valley. Lin Shun had already arrived. As soon as he entered, he glanced back at his pursuers, a wicked smile spreading across his face. The landscape here was completely desolate, without another soul in sight. It was then that Mu Sheng realized, damn it, this brat knew we were following him. Get him. At that very moment, a flaming arrow shot through the air, whistling as it flew toward them. The moment Mu Sheng heard the whistling wind, he instantly sensed the attack and yelled, ambush! But strangely, he didn't react, standing perfectly still as the arrow bore down on him. After a moment, Mu Sheng finally drew his weapon. He looked up and roared. With his final word, he unleashed a blast of energy. Seeing Lin Shun, he couldn't help but be surprised. He's not running. Does he really intend to fight the three of us alone? His two subordinates couldn't help but sneer. How arrogant. A martial arts genius. With the brain of an idiot. Lin Shun's expression turned icy. He replied calmly, you're welcome to try. We'll see who kills who. And in that moment, a flicker of shock hardened Mu Sheng's eyes. The smile on his lips slowly vanished. With that, Mu Sheng charged straight for him. You're asking to die. Now that they were alone, Lin Shun finally stopped holding back. He began channeling his own internal energy, ready to meet the attack. And just like that, as Mu Sheng closed in, Lin Shun unleashed a powerful strike of his own. The two subordinates, standing behind, took the full force of the blow. They couldn't help but let out terrified screams. A supreme martial art. That thunder. But Mu Sheng was too stubborn to see the writing on the wall. He leaped into the air, roaring, you're asking to die. Purple thunder slash. At the same time, Lin Shun moved in a flash, grabbing one of the subordinates to use as a human shield. Damn! The power of this purple thunder is immense. But he wasn't done yet. He tossed the body aside and channeled power into his arm, striking again. Golden pupil body tempering art. Then, as if from the void itself, an ethereal, demonic energy began to consume the two subordinates. They screamed in hatred. Lin Shun, after their final, desperate cries, they vanished without a trace. It was as if they had never existed at all. Mu Sheng's expression turned grim. He stared at Lin Shun and roared, you, my men, I'll make you pay for this in blood. But Lin Shun saw right through him. You care about your subordinates? It seems to me you're just after my supreme martial art. Called out, Mu Sheng just laughed. So what if I am? Moon Origin, Purple-Red Thunderblade. I want you dead. I'll make you wish you were never born. But over on the other side, Lin Shun simply stood his ground. Once again, he channeled his internal energy. Supreme Purity Spirit Vein. Mu Sheng, desperate for the kill, charged forward once more. Purple Thunder Slash. Sky Taming Axe. But suddenly, Mu Sheng's gaze froze. For the first time, he felt true fear. Something was terribly wrong with his body. Mu Sheng shouted, no, I can't move. This is impossible. Lin Shun stood there, calm and collected. He raised a hand, commanding the very air around them as he spoke a single word. Shatter. At his command, a massive explosion tore through the sky, shaking the very ground beneath them. And then, Mu Sheng was on the ground. Terrified, he began to stammer, begging for his life. You, don't kill me. Just then, Shui appeared. He looked down at the man with utter contempt. So those are your last words? Consider them heard. With his last breath, Mu Sheng could only offer a helpless threat. My older brother is a half-step divine realm expert. He's a disciple of the supreme purity saint. But of course, Lin Shun was not afraid. On the contrary, his actions became even more decisive as he spoke. If there's one thing I hate, it's being threatened. Mu Sheng could only watch as he was slowly engulfed in a sea of flames. He screamed, my brother won't let you get away with this. In the end, his fate was the same as his two subordinates. He vanished completely, leaving not even a speck of dust behind. Just as Lin Shun finished, Shui's voice rang out with a warning. Careful, someone's nearby. A Xiantian, 10th level grand perfection. The moment old Shui finished his warning, a slow clap, followed by a voice, echoed through the air. Impressive. Young master of the Lin family. He really is strong. Lin Shun was on high alert. He scanned his surroundings and shouted, who's there? Stop skulking around. Show yourself. From within the bushes, Wang Ying emerged. He said, don't worry. We're coming out now. killing 2 9th-level Xiantian masters, and then another at the 10th level. That supreme martial art is truly something else. Lin Shun's face darkened as he asked in a cold voice. The twin brothers. I didn't expect it to be you two. What do you want? Chang Xiao couldn't hide the greedy glint in his eyes. Didn't see this coming, did you? Be smart about this. Hand over your supreme martial art. Or else. Annoyed, Lin Shun shot back. Are you threatening me? But Wang Ying immediately replied. It's not a threat. It's a deal. You killed Lei Wang's younger brother. If word of that got out, it'd be hard for you to stay alive. His face grew cold. Lei Wang. Is that the older brother Lei Mushing mentioned? Shuelao immediately warned him. Lin Shun, be careful. The auras of these two can merge into one. There's definitely something strange about them. Lin Shun put on a pitiful expression. If I give you the martial art, will you keep my secret? The two of them, thinking he was genuinely scared, grinned slyly, seeing their goal within reach. Of course. Then, Lin Shun faked a few coughs and spoke again. What exactly did Elders Wang and Li offer you? I'll double it. They quickly replied. Just hand over the martial art. We won't meddle in your personal affairs anymore. As for what they gave us, you don't need to ask. Just then, Lin Shun dropped his pitiful act and asked, Is that so? Immediately after, Lin Shun began to channel his internal energy. The same spark from before instantly appeared on his hand. If you're not going to tell me, then you could die. As he spoke, he fixed his gaze on his opponents and unleashed a technique. Earth Core Seal. Chang Xiao still seemed completely unfazed. He said mockingly, How naive. Lin Shun, did you really think we don't understand you? You've already exhausted your true chi, and you still think you can use a sneak attack on us? Wang Ying couldn't help but laugh out loud. Our cores were formed from the same magical artifact. They are linked. Immediately, they pressed their palms together and shouted in unison, The one who's going to die is you. And just like that, a massive fist of powerful internal energy shot toward Lin Shun. Wang Ying gritted his teeth and said, To get this divine law pill, my brother and I went through a lot of trouble. Lin Shun sighed. He finally understood. A divine law pill. So that's what those two old men paid you. He couldn't help but scoff. You two are truly my past. How much do you really know about it? He paused for a moment. Then, as if sensing something within his own body, he asked them, Do you have any idea why I used to withstand 1% of the power of the divine law realm? Seeing his eyes suddenly turn ice cold, Wang Ying was startled. What? And now, behind him, a massive figure materialized, striking fear into their hearts. Damn it, where the hell did you get so many Taiqian spirit veins? The man's face twisted with rage. Lin Shun stared intently at his opponent, slowly gathering internal energy in his hands. Your struggle is meaningless. Just then, a massive figure in the sky slowly turned towards the two men. A deafening roar echoed through the forest, sending birds scattering in fear. Wang Ying trembled, breaking out in a cold sweat. Brotherly, we have to go all out. This guy must be bluffing. Then, the two of them unleashed their ultimate killing move, aiming it straight for him. Their faces set in grim determination. They stared hard at Lin Shun. They roared. D. In the sky, their two streams of internal energy intertwined, forming a massive character for kill. Lin Shun looked up at the sky. He murmured to himself, So this is their magic treasure. Immediately after, he raised his hand again. Let's see how you break this. Lin Shun calmly clenched his fist around the powerful energy they had just unleashed, his voice cold. It's time to end this. Like a dancer, he began to move through a series of practiced, graceful forms. Fortress of a united will. Victory is absolute. And finally, Lin Shun clenched his fist tight. An overwhelmingly powerful energy erupted from his hand. No one could see what Lin Shun had done. All they knew was, from deep within the forest came the sickening crack of breaking bones, followed by blood-curdling screams. On the ground lay pools of crimson blood. The signs of a fierce battle remained. The clash had left Lin Shun with more than a few injuries himself. He coughed a few times before leaning against a nearby. That was a close one. I almost got hit by their technique. Shui appeared, greedily wiping drool from his mouth as he spoke. Kid, you've definitely got it, right? Lin Shun held out the item. Why didn't you help me back there? You're actually trying to weasel your way out of this? Give it to me. Hurry up, hand it over. I was training you. A moment later, He decided to pull a fast one. Look over there. It's the Chinquan pouches from those 3 guys. Excited, Lin Shun turned to look. Where? But the moment he was distracted, Shui snatched the item and clamped it in his mouth. Lin Shun was helpless. He then summoned the pouches. This battle cost me 1/3 of my taiqing spirit veins. I hope what these 3 were carrying doesn't disappoint me. Nearby, old Shui was still chewing away happily. Lin Shun rummaged through the bags, searching. A low-grade king artifact. Shui was completely shocked. That king artifact is mine. You, keep looking and see if there's a pillbox. Finally losing his patience, he dumped all 3 pouches out. Found it. Looking at this treasure, Lin Shun couldn't help but marvel. It really is a Shinfa pill. A brief description of this treasure. The Shinfa pill can help a cultivator at the 10th level of the Xiantian realm break through to the Shinfa realm. However, because its medicinal power is too strong, using it carelessly will cause the user to explode and die. The moment he saw the pill, Lin Shun couldn't help but feel a chill run down his spine. Old Shui, is this a miracle pill or just straight up poison? I don't want to explode. Shui immediately scolded him. You ignorant fool. You just need to upgrade the devouring diagram to level 4 and combine it with a heavenly jade spirit flower. Then you'll be fine. Shui then said urgently, Quick, put the pill inside the flower spirit divine realm. It can block the divine sense of others. Lin Shun was a little surprised. The flower spirit divine realm can do that. Before he left, Shui gave him a worried warning. Lin Shun, you need to think this through carefully. For a Taiqian spirit body to advance to the Shinfa realm requires a colossal amount of energy. I'm going to go refine the king artifact now. Lin Shun sat alone, leaning his head against a tree trunk. With these contribution points, buying the Supreme Purity Spirit Jade shouldn't be a problem. In the end, you still chose to do things your way. Just let the flames burn this whole conflict to the ground. The path of cultivation was always meant to be walked alongside pain and the specter of death. Immense power demands an immense price. His thoughts turned inward. Lu Tongtian, our 1-year pact. Do you still remember? Time passed, and just like that, 5 days went by. Outside the demon hunting grounds. Now, Lin Shun raised his hands to the sky. He slowly drew his power inward. Lin Shun could feel the power within him growing significantly stronger. Shui said cheerfully, Lin Shun, congratulations on reaching the 9th level of the Xiantian realm. The devouring diagram has also upgraded to level 3. He immediately replied, This upgrade really makes a difference. Circulating the golden bronze body tempering art feels much smoother now. He sighed, but I've already used up all the meridian pills and supreme purity spirit jades. He looked up at the sky. Lin Shun felt a little weary. Looks like I still need to find a way to get more contribution points. The scene changes to the Supreme Purity Sect. The Supreme Purity Sect. Somewhere within its grounds, a door slowly creaked open. Yin Lin entered and immediately knelt respectfully. My lord, the young master of the Lin family personally demonstrated the first 2 moves of the Heavenly Fire Seal. His talent for martial arts is simply monstrous. A powerful voice emanated from the command tablet, continued to report his every move. The sheer power in that voice made him break out in a cold sweat. He answered respectfully, As you command. After he left, Yin Lin said to himself, Whether he's a dragon or a worm will all depend on his destiny. He let out a silent sigh. This is about whether the Supreme Purity 9 Voids art can ever reappear. The scene fades. On the 10th day, a corner of Dark Cloud City, Lin Shun muttered to himself as he carefully searched through his bag. A lot of people saw the conflict between me and Lei mushing that day. If I suddenly pull out a large amount of contribution points now, it's bound to raise suspicion. He then took out a spirit pill and slowly placed it in his mouth. I better take a disguise pill to be safe. In an instant, Lin Shun's appearance changed. Shui couldn't help but criticize what he saw. So ugly. Lin Shun, however, was pleased. This is exactly what I wanted, combined with the illusory spirit divine sense. Not even a master at the divine law realm could see through it. The scene shifts. The Dark Cloud Pavilion. First floor. Lin Shun burst through the door and announced loudly, I want to buy high-grade Supreme Purity Spirit Jades. The crowd immediately erupted in a clamor. So rich. Must be nice to have money. Where did this big shot come from? The shopkeeper stammered, sweating nervously. "Yes, sir. The high-grade Supreme Purity Spirit Jades are all sold out." He immediately slammed his hand on the counter. "What? You think I can't afford it? I've got plenty of money." At that moment, Jing Yun emerged from the back. "My friend, I happen to have 9 high-grade Spirit Jades, and I can sell them to you." The sight of the man made Lin Shun's eyes widen in surprise. He immediately agreed. "How much?" "I'll take them all." Jing Yun grinned and replied, 400,000 contribution points will do." Outwardly, Lin Shun acted thrilled. That's the price? What a steal. But inwardly, he was calculating. 9 high-grade Spirit Jades could sell for 450,000. Something's not right. This has to be a setup. Hearing this, Jing Yun's expression grew smug. He said arrogantly, "I'm a top disciple of the outer sect. If I didn't desperately need the contribution points, I'd never be selling it at such a loss." Lin Shun found this rather amusing. "Oh, really? That impressive?" He feigned immense interest. "Of course. I don't mind telling you. In this year's intersex election, there's this 8th level innate realm cripple. I plan on making a bet with him." Lin Shun mentally scratched his head. He can't be talking about me, can he? He then gave a wry smile. "Just an 8th level innate. Brother, what kind of bet are you making with a piece of trash like that?" Jing Yun's expression turned cold as he added, "For the Tina seal, of course." At this, he seemed unable to contain his anger. Only the strong are worthy of a supreme martial art. A worthless punk like him is fundamentally undeserving. Realizing he'd said too much, Jing Yun stopped himself. "Anyway, enough nonsense. Are you buying or not? The competition is about to start." Lin Shun was taken aback. "I'll buy it. Right now." He then took out his token. "Sent. Check it. Transfer successful. 400,000 contribution points." Lin Shun immediately reached out to take the item, replying, "Got it." Lin Shun thought to himself, Su Jingyun, a royal from the Zixing dynasty. Then, Lin Shun put the jade away and said to him, "I'm leaving." Startled, Jingyun called out, "Wait a minute." Lin Shun asked coldly, "What is it?" A sense of anxiety washed over him. "He didn't see my identity token, did he?" Jingyun, meanwhile, looked serious and hesitated. He then said to him, "I think you're," but it was nothing serious. Jingyun walked over and cheerfully clapped Lin Shun on the shoulder. "A pretty decent guy. If you ever get into trouble in the future, just mention my name, Su Jingyun. I'll have your back." He breathed a sigh of relief and replied, "Thanks, brother Su Jingyun. I definitely will." He then broke into a wide, cheerful grin. "Huh, at least you know who to respect. I'm off." Lin Shun let out a breath, thinking, what the hell was that? After returning to his spot, he immediately sat down. A powerful internal energy now enveloped Lin Shun's entire body. Lin Shun quickly stood up and spoke again. "Time to go to the execution platform." From what Lin Shun knew, the sect's Jade slip recorded that, in the deepest part of the execution platform, there was a secret. It was a place specifically for handling matters involving divine power realm disciples. For example, life and death duels, punishing traitors, and declaring their crimes. And that place was completely off limits to innate realm disciples. Arriving at his destination, he muttered to himself, exhausted. Finally made it. That took 4 hours. Taiqing Immortal Island really is huge. Blood commented with some disdain. So gloomy. Doesn't seem like a very pleasant place. He then materialized and said, "Lin Shun, this execution platform is not to be trifled with. I won't be able to communicate with you via voice transmission for a while, and you should avoid using the devouring chart at all costs. You can't risk being discovered." Lin Shun asked Blood Elder in return, "What happens if I'm discovered?" Blood Elder then explained, "The devouring chart is the central formation of the devouring pagoda." Lin Shun pressed on, "So what?" Blood Elder's eyes widened as he yelled, "The devouring pagoda is an immortal artifact. Do you understand what an immortal artifact is?" Lin Shun covered his ears in shock and quickly replied, I get it. The scene shifts to another location. Around the arena, the spring martial competition. The moment he arrived, the crowd erupted in cheers, their faces lighting up. It's Lin Shun. Seeing him receive such a warm welcome, both Ran and the Tyrant King were taken aback. He was swarmed like a celebrity. He even inscribed this for me. He can even replicate a supreme martial skill. Incredible. You're amazing, kid. He let out a wry smile. Damn, News travels fast around here. Just then, Yang Zhou stepped out, his face dark, but his smile cunning. So what if you're strong? You're still just an 8th level Xiantian. Lin, Chun. Just you wait. When the tournament starts, I'll make you taste defeat. Lin Chen paid him no mind, his gaze shifting to a new target. Tyrant King, don't forget what you said last time. Today, you're the one who's going to be a bloody pulp. Yang Zhou roared in anger. You're ignoring me. Annoyed, the Tyrant King shut him up with a punch, then laughed heartily as he answered Lin Chun. Lin Chun, I'll be waiting. Don't you dare disappoint me. Lin Chun gave a satisfied smile. This Yang Zhou guy really isn't much of a threat. A short while later, a loud voice echoed through the air. The selection begins. Yang Zhou clenched his fists. Damn it, how dare you look down on me? Lin Chun, you're going to regret this. A booming voice announced from above. Elder Su, a 3rd-level Shinfa realm master, will preside over all affairs concerning the inner sect disciples. This aura, 3rd-level Shinfa realm. My God, an inner sect elder is already a 3rd-level Shinfa master? Lin Chun frowned in thought. Even the supreme elder of my Lin clan is only at this level. The power of the 3 great immortal sects is truly terrifying. The man then announced loudly, I declare, the first grand tournament. He paused for a moment as the crowd held its breath in suspense. He continued, begin. While dodging his opponent, Lin Chen glanced around, sizing up the other fighters. Su Jingyun, the number 1 outer sect disciple, really lives up to his name. The Tyrant King, seeing him distracted, shouted, Hey kid, where are you looking? As he spoke, he hurled another fighter straight at Lin Chun. The move caught Lin Chun by surprise. The Tyrant King's eyes flashed with anger as he yelled, Your opponent is me. Time passed. An hour later, the referee's voice rang out again. In a moment, the final match of the Inner Sect Disciple Selection Tournament will begin. The reward for the top 3 is a King Grade Taiqing Spirit Vein. And for the number 1 Inner Sect Disciple, the crowd roared at the mention of the prizes. A King Grade Spirit Vein and 500,000 contribution points. The man above continued. You will be awarded the first human-grade spirit cave of the Inner Sect. Everyone was utterly shocked. Holy crap, they're giving that away too? The entire stadium was buzzing with discussion. The first human-grade cave channels several times more spiritual energy than a normal one. You don't say. I heard that cave costs 800,000 contribution points. Lin Chen's eyes lit up. Wait, isn't that even more valuable than an Earth-grade spirit cave? This is huge. 800,000. Once I get my hands on it, I could sell it for 700,000. I could buy any Taiqing spirit stone I want. He couldn't help but scream internally. I'm going to be rich. I'll never have to worry about running out of cultivation energy again. While he was still dazed by the prize, the Tyrant King walked over, clapped him on the shoulder, and spoke. Lin Chun. As Lin Chen turned, he continued. Let me tell you something. That first spirit cave is a real treasure. The Gungjin Qi in there is potent enough to elevate your golden body tempering art to a low-grade king rank. Lin Chun was astonished. It can do that? Gungjin Qi is incredibly rare. You can't even find it in the Dark Cloud Pavilion. Instead of being grateful, Lin Chun was on his guard. Why are you telling me this? You're actually trying to be helpful? Bao Wang answered bluntly. So you can show me what you've really got, of course. I want a real, satisfying fight with you. Iran saw him standing there, speechless. A moment later, she waved him over. Lin Chun. Over here. Jingyan cut in with a sneer. So, you're Lin Chun. One look is all it takes. The rumors were right. You really do look like a good-for-nothing. Lin Chun slowly walked forward. Su Jingyun, looking at your character, you're a real disgrace to the Su name. He instantly drew his weapon and thrust it toward him. You're lucky you at least know who I am. In the next round, I'm challenging you. A good-for-nothing like you should get ready to die. Lin Chun swiftly caught the blade, his expression turning grim. The top disciple of the outer sect wants to challenge a good-for-nothing? That title doesn't sound so prestigious now, does it? Jingyun's eyes widened as he roared. You. Quite the sharp tongue. I'd advise you not to get too smug. Unless you make it to the top 3, you're not even worth my time. But Lin Chun wasn't so easily baited. He scoffed dismissively. Suit yourself. Then, Lin Chun glanced down at his own tournament token. His eyes widened slightly in surprise. Holding up the token, he announced with a grin. Well, this is awkward. Looks like I'm already one step ahead of you. The crowd seethed with indignation. He made it to the top 3 without fighting a single match. Did his ancestors bless him or something? He's just coasting on his family's good fortune. What's so great about a brat who just gets lucky? As he walked off, he gave Jing Yun a little wave. If you want a piece of me, you'll have to make it to the top 3 first. Yang Zhou was practically spitting fire. You just wait. With that, the remaining disciples focused on their battles. As always, Bao Wang finished his opponent with a single, precise punch. Yang Zhou proved to be a formidable opponent as well. He took down most of his opponents with his bare hands. Su Jingyun, on the other hand, brutalized his opponents until they surrendered. His killing intent was suffocating. While the others were still battling it out below, Lin Shun watched the show from above with a detached amusement. After some time, only 3 victors remained on the stage. The referee announced loudly, "The final matches will begin in 1 hour. Will the top 3 disciples, Bao Wang, Yang Zhou, and Lin Shun." Upon hearing his name, Lin Shun leaped down onto the stage. The referee's voice continued to ring out. "And the challenger, Su Jingyun, please come to the arena." And so, the 4 greatest talents of the competition were finally gathered on one stage. But it seemed they all shared one common target, Lin Shun. Su Jingyun couldn't help but let out a malicious smirk. "Lin Shun, even though you lucked your way into the top 3, you're fortunate enough to have a match against me." As soon as he landed, Lin Shun immediately sat down on the ground and let out a quiet sigh. Seeing this, Yang Zhou was even more amused. What a stroke of luck, getting to challenge a master like Brother Su. I just wonder if this coward has the guts to accept. Su Jingyin chimed in. "A coward like him is only fit to kneel at my feet." Listening to them drone on, Lin Shun thought in frustration. 2 grown men, gossiping like a couple of old hens. Just then, a young woman's voice cut in. "You too. Big brother Lin Shun isn't just skilled in martial arts. His character and cultivation far surpass yours." The girl strode forward, rebuking them sharply. 2 grown men, standing here flapping your gums. Have you no shame? Yang Zhou immediately shot back with a sneer. "And who are you? Just a mere 9th-rank celestial, and you dare step onto the tournament stage? Don't you know the rules? Or are you hoping to use that pretty face to get some special treatment from my brother here?" Su Jingyun added with a lecherous grin. "Since you're calling him Big Brother Lin Shun, you might as well call me Big Brother, too. Just say the word, and I'll grant you a lifetime of riches and glory." Seeing her silence, he asked again, "Well, little lady?" The girl didn't hold back and cursed them directly. You're shameless, despicable lowlifes. With character like that, you think you're worthy of being chosen as disciples? I'm ashamed on behalf of your ancestors." Jing Yun let out a sly laugh. "Shameless? How about I give you a taste of what real shamelessness is? You get my meaning?" Yang Zhou immediately chimed in. "Perfect. Elder Su isn't here. Why don't we see if the face under that veil is as stubborn as that mouth of yours?" Right after that, they closed in on the girl. "Don't run." She panicked. "What do you think you're doing?" Yang Zhou couldn't stop grinning. "Don't be scared, little lady. We just want to play with you." But just then, a powerful killing intent erupted nearby, startling Yang Zhou. Even Yi Ran, standing in the audience, was taken aback. She couldn't help but stand up, staring intently in their direction. The surrounding crowd broke into a commotion. "What's going on? That killing intent is so powerful." Lin Shen looked like a demon from hell. "Miss, please step aside. These 2 degenerate beasts. I'll handle them." The veiled girl couldn't help but be startled. "This is Big Brother Lin Shun. Be careful." As soon as she was gone, Yang Zhou watched her leave with a hint of regret. She got away. Jing Yun was momentarily stunned by his killing intent. What do you want?" Yang Zhou's face paled as he quickly spoke up. "The competition hasn't started yet. If you attack now, you'll be punished by the sect." He gave a wicked smile. "Is that so?" Yang Zhou, Su Jingyun, Lin Shun challenged the 2 of you at once. "Do you dare to accept?" The 2 of them couldn't help but glance at each other. It seemed they were plotting something. The crowd in the stands erupted. Where does that chosen one get the guts to take on 2 at once? Didn't you see those 2 harassing that young lady earlier? For Lin Shun to step up now, I'd say he's a true hero. Now, this is going to be a good show. Lin Shun is in for a world of hurt. Now, to save face, Yang Zhou immediately charged forward. "If you're in such a hurry to die," Jing Yun summoned his weapon, sneering as he finished the thought. Then we'll be happy to send you on your way. And so, facing the two powerful auras, Lin Chun began to channel his own internal energy. In his hands, two powerful flames appeared, burning fiercely as if doused in oil. Then, Lin Chun launched a powerful and imposing strike toward his opponents. Now, facing two opponents, he shouted, "You two arrogant fools who don't know your own limits. Show me what you've got. Otherwise, I, Lin Chun, will send you straight to hell." As he spoke, he unleashed his attack, subduing Palm. Yang Zhou was already terrified by this display of power. "Brother Su Jing, we have to go all out. This kid is insane. He's really trying to kill us." Hearing this, Jing Yun was instantly gripped by fear. Evening Tide Axe. Yang Zhou was also sweating bullets. He joined forces with him. Purple Emperor Spear. Now, facing the two powerful surges of internal energy, Lin Chun had to grit his teeth and raise his hands to defend. But in that moment, his protective barrier was shattered. Even Lin Chun was a little shocked. And just like that, Lin Chun was momentarily knocked back. Dust and smoke billowed everywhere. Wiping the blood from his lips, he thought, "I need to end this quickly. My body won't last much longer." Up on the viewing platform, everyone watched the fight below, their faces etched with worry. But all they could see was billowing smoke, with three shadowy figures flickering in and out of view. Su Tian glanced over. "At this rate, I'm afraid Lin Chun isn't going to make it." Seeing his granddaughter's unrelenting anxiety, he asked once more, "Qingro, are you sure you won't let him keep fighting?" The veiled girl was, in fact, Qingro. Her eyes were fixed on Lin Chun and Lin Chun alone. She spoke, "Grandfather, Lin Chun isn't just fighting for me. He's fighting for himself." Gazing at the young man below, her heart swelled with conviction. "I believe in him," Qingro said, her voice firm. "If there's anyone who can make me remove my veil, it has to be him," she declared to her grandfather with unwavering certainty. Jian Wui couldn't do it. Even the saint son of the taiqing sect couldn't do it. Su Tian was inwardly stunned. This kid, he's that powerful? Lin Chun has hidden his true strength so well. He's holding his own against two opponents, not giving an inch. Indeed, I never would have guessed. Staring intently at the boy, he affirmed once again, "It's still anyone's game." The crowd erupted in a flurry of whispers. Su Jingyun is the top dog of the outer sect. Yeah, and that Luo Yangzhou's plenty strong, too. What's the rush? The best part is yet to come. Down in the arena, Su Jingyun drew his weapon, a wide grin spreading across his face. "One against two. You're just way too arrogant." With that, he lunged at Lin Chun. Divine Dragon's Fury. A massive golden dragon materialized in the air, its eyes blazing as it let out a deafening roar. Lin Chun said nothing. He just stood there unfazed. Two great pyres of flame erupted from his palms. Even now, Lin Chun looked on with utter disdain. And just like that, he unleashed a massive strike. Pathetic. As the dragon charged, it slammed headfirst into Lin Chun's barrier. An earth-shattering boom instantly followed. Su Jingyun broke out in a cold sweat. Damn it! What terrifying power! What is this? It's even stronger than the heavenly fire seal. A blinding golden light then erupted from the impact. The brilliant blast instantly sent Su Jingyun flying. Gritting his teeth, Su Jingyun glared at his partner and screamed, "Luo Yangzhou, what are you spacing out for? Get over here and help, or we're both going to lose." Luo Yangzhou, standing off to the side, scoffed. "I never thought this brat Lin Chun would be such a tough nut to crack." He then summoned a green talisman. A deafening roar echoed, sending shivers down everyone's spines. "This is my ultimate technique." Overturning sea palm. A raging tsunami now surged toward Lin Chun. Lin Chun shot him a contemptuous glance. "Taking turns, are we? Or should I say, is this pathetic handful of tricks all you've got?" He then stood before the massive wave and roared, "Luo Yangzhou, I'll show you right now." Seeing this, the crowd fell silent, holding their breath as they watched the battle unfold. In the air above, two colossal hands, formed from Lin Chun's own inner power, materialized. As he unleashed the attack, he continued, "Exactly how I earned my place in the taiqing sect." Luo Yangzhou couldn't help but cry out in alarm. "This is bad. My technique, it's been shattered. Su Jingyun, what are you just standing there for? Hurry up and attack." Su Jingyun was seething. A cruel glint flashed in his eyes as he looked toward the boy. He closed in. Lin Shun. Face my ultimate technique. D. Lin Shun. No matter how strong you are, you can't possibly defeat us both. As he spoke, he channeled his internal energy, which erupted from his body. At that moment, in mid-air, a flaming spear materialized, blazing with scorching heat. Jingyun roared once more. Let's see how long you can keep posturing. But now, facing that deadly attack, Lin Shun remained perfectly still, as if he had no intention of dodging. Yang Zhou watched his reaction, a flicker of fear in his heart. What is he planning to do? Is he really going to take it head-on? From above, Qingro, unsure of his plan, grew anxious. Brother Lin Shun. While everyone was still stunned, Lin Shun shot out his hand, catching the spear hurtling toward him barehanded. Jingyun's face went pale. He gritted his teeth, sweat beading on his forehead as he stared intently at him. Lin Shun said nothing more. He simply gave his opponent another deathly glare and declared, "Now!" From Lin Shun's hand, a terrifying surge of power immediately transferred into the spear. And then, it rebounded back toward Jingyun, sending him flying and causing him to spit up a large mouthful of blood. Jingyun now lay trembling on the ground. Yang Zhou, help! Help me! Lin Shun, quite pleased with the outcome, muttered to himself. With a move like that, you dare call it your strongest? For your weapon, that is. Then, Lin Shun stored the spear inside his jade pendant. Below the stage, the entire crowd stared, mouths agape, completely speechless. Iran was also stunned by this display. Lin Shun's power is really that immense? Even an elder like Su Tian was too shocked to form a complete sentence. This is truly. The happiest person at that moment was Qingro. She was bursting with pride. I knew you could do it. Brother Lin Shun. The crowd erupted into a flurry of whispers. Who in the world is this Lin Shun? His methods are so ruthless. Jingyun is the top disciple of the outer sect. And now his Dan Yuan is shattered. I know, right? Jingyun is a true 10th level Xiantian expert. Yang Zhou pointed at him and sneered. Lin Shun, I have to admit, I'm impressed. You actually dared to beat a member of the royal family like Jingyun into this state. Even if I don't kill you, the Zijing royal family will never let you go. Lin Shun scoffed in derision. What are you, a fly that learned to talk? All I hear is buzzing. Yang Zhou glared. You. Immediately after, he frowned, staring intently at Lin Shun before letting out a cold laugh. Yang Zhou then began to channel his internal energy. You don't have a single drop of true qi left in you. Let's see how long you can keep up that tough act. Iran looked over at her companion and said, Sister Qingro, Lin Shun is completely out of true qi now. He's no match for Yang Zhou like this. Su Tian stroked his beard and spoke. This Lin Shun is quite the character. His cultivation level is so low, yet he can unleash such immense power. I tried to probe him with my divine sense, but I was blocked by a strange force. That boy is not as simple as he looks. Meanwhile, Yang Zhou was gathering his internal energy. He amassed his Yuan Qi, Yuan Dan, tidal wave seal, sea overturning tidal palm. As the words left his lips, Yang Zhou unleashed a powerful strike at Lin Shun. Meanwhile, Lin Shun closed his eyes, sensing the flow of power within his body. He then drew upon all the internal energy he possessed. He seemed like a colossal statue, endlessly radiating power. With his eyes still shut, his expression darkened as he began to crack his knuckles. The sky above filled with dark, swirling clouds. Lin Shun stood there, channeling his internal force to command the full might of his power. Su Tian's brow furrowed. Well, so he was hiding this much true qi. In the sky above, all light was being swallowed by that encroaching darkness. But it was impossible to understand. How can this be? Where did he get so much true qi? Qingro was bursting with pride. Of course, Brother Lin Shun has his own methods. After all, his terrifying martial arts techniques require a massive amount of true qi to sustain. The color drained from Yang Zhou's face. He glanced up at the sky, a jolt of fear running through him. The situation's not good. Yang Zhou then forced a smile, his whole demeanor changing. Lin Shun, if you kill me, you'll be punished by the sect. Your clan will be implicated, too. How about we each take a step back? Why does this have to be a fight to the death? But Lin Shun had no intention of stopping. There's nothing I hate more than being threatened. Your fate was sealed the moment you stood against me. With that, Lin Shin launched a devastating blow toward his opponent. The sound was earth-shattering. At that very moment, Yang Zhou froze, his eyes wide with disbelief. A hand had suddenly appeared behind him. It clamped down on the killing aura emanating from his own attack, and instantly crushed it into nothing. Lin Shin watched the scene unfold. He wondered to himself, what's going on? Bao Wang grinned widely. I couldn't wait any longer. Lin Shin, I'm here to fight you. Lin Shin was surprised. It's you, Bao Wang. You wanted to fight me that badly? He chuckled, amused. That's an understatement. I've been waiting for 10 long days to take down 2 opponents in one go. You really didn't disappoint. Nearby, the other 2 men lay motionless in pools of their own blood, completely unconscious. Bao Wang looked on with relish. I guess that makes you worthy of fighting me. Enough talk. Let's go, kid. In the next instant, he flared his internal energy. Vicious black serpents materialized from Bao Wang's body. The crowd watched in awe. What kind of primal source is that? In that moment, everyone stared, their jaws hanging open in utter shock. Just then, Elder Shui appeared beside Lin Shin. Lin Shin, if I'm not mistaken, this man's primal source is likely the condensed essence of a demon beast from the divine law realm. Hearing this, Lin Shin's eyes went wide. What? But Elder Shui had even more shocking news. Don't be so surprised. The power he's using right now is less than 1% of his true strength. At this, Lin Shin began to circulate his own internal energy. He quickly composed himself and replied, Is that so? Bao Wang boomed. One strike to decide it all. Whether you live or die is up to fate, Lin Shin said with contempt. Cut the crap. Then, he too unleashed a fatal blow toward his opponent. Tyrant Demon's heaven-killing palm. At the same time, Lin Shin unleashed his own technique. Hand of the Heaven Subduer. The 2 powerful fists collided, releasing a deafening shockwave. Watching from above, Su Tian was clearly growing anxious. Qingro, if I don't go save him now, that kid is dead for sure. But she immediately blocked her grandfather, her voice filled with absolute conviction. He won't be. Brother Lin Shin won't lose that easily, and he definitely won't die. Down below, Lin Shin once again closed his eyes tightly. It seemed he was trying to connect with the power deep within his body. Lin Shin could feel his inner core vibrating intensely. A light began to slowly radiate from inside him. And just like that, deep within Lin Shin, that inner core slowly opened its eye and began to stir. Another thunderous sound erupted from his body. Lin Shin's resolve hardened. I will become the #1 disciple of the inner sect. Down in the stands, the crowd roared its approval. That was insane. He's incredible. A fight for the ages. Lin Shin locked eyes with Bao Wang. His aura completely transformed. The sickening crack of bones split the air. The duel had reached its explosive climax. Then, a fine mist of blood sprayed into the air. The entire crowd held its breath. Seeing the sight, Qingro gasped. He truly is astonishing. Blood flowed freely from Lin Shin's arm. The final blow had clearly cost him dearly. But Bao Wang was in far worse shape, crushed beneath a pile of rubble. A chant rose from the crowd, growing louder with every voice. Lin Shin, #1. Lin Shin, #1. What a match. Everyone's going to know his name after this. Yang Zhou refused to accept it. He lay trembling on the ground. He was hiding his strength all along. How could he have amassed that much true qi? What trick did he use? Lin Shin let out a quiet sigh of relief. I can't use any martial force for at least 3 or 4 days. Otherwise, the consequences will be unimaginable. From his high perch, Elder Su Tian could wait no longer and descended to the arena floor. Looking at Lin Shin, he declared, Young man, you are truly worthy of being the Lin clan's young master. Your cultivation and techniques are both exceptional. Lin Shin replied at once. Greetings, Elder Su. Su Tian continued. At your current level, you could likely stand among the demon generals of our heavenly polarity sect's 10 greats. Lin Shin raised an eyebrow. Oh, Su Tian began to drone on. Among our inner sect disciples, we have the venerated titles of the 10 greats and the 3 mansion lords. These 13 are our greatest hope of one day reaching the divine law realm. The 3 mansion lords, in particular, are already halfway there. As the elder continued his lecture, Lin Shin couldn't stifle a massive yawn. Seeing his lack of a response, Su Tian called out, "Young friend Lin Shun?" Lin Shun jolted awake, answering wearily, "Sorry, I think I nodded off for a moment. My apologies. Where were we?" Su Tian looked utterly appalled. "Never mind." His voice then turned to ice. "First, let's deal with official sect business. Yangzhou, Su Jingyun, the two of you have the audacity of kings. How dare you lay a hand on the Grand Pure Saintess? Your crime is heinous. Your clans will be issued a severe warning. And you two are hereby demoted to menial labor." The realization finally dawned on Yangzhou. That girl was the Grand Pure Saintess? "Elder, please. Mercy. I was blind. I had no idea." But Su Jingyun, though terrified, spat back. "So what if she's the Grand Pure Saintess? I am Roy." At that exact moment, high in the sky, a deafening boom slammed into the ground. Qing Ro screamed, "Brother Lin Shun, get out of here. It's the Thunder King. He's after you." A thick cloud of dust erupted, obscuring everything. Lin Shun shielded his face from the blast. From above, two masked men held Wei Han captive. He was grievously injured. Seeing his brother in such a state, Lin Shun froze. Wei Han saw him and struggled to shout a warning. "Brother Lin Shun, run. The Thunder King. He's here for you." Lin Shun channeled a stream of energy toward him. "Don't move. Absorb this. It will help you recover." Wei Han stared, stunned. The unbreakable bond of brothers. Su Tian then spoke up. "The left and right protectors of the Thunder King. Shouldn't you be guarding your master, instead of wandering around here?" The two of them immediately replied, "We are acting on the Thunder King's orders. We're here to investigate the death of the young master, Lei Musheng." Su Tian's voice turned cold. "He's already dead. So what's the point of coming here now?" Lin Shun watched them, his mind racing. The Thunder King's left and right protectors. "I can't fight them head on right now." Just then, one of them spoke up. Before young Master Lei died, he just so happened to have a conflict with Lin Shun. What's more, someone saw them both enter the demon hunting grounds. As for what happened in there, we'll just have to ask Lin Shun. Wei Han wiped the blood from his mouth. The demon hunting grounds have always been a treacherous place. It's normal for a person or two to die in there. Unafraid, Lin Shun smirked and replied, "That's right. While young Master Lei and I had a small disagreement, that doesn't mean I killed him. I spent 10 days in the demon hunting grounds. I was busy slaying beasts to reach the 9th level of the Xiantian realm." The protector channeled his inner energy and let out a cold laugh. "Young Master Lin, you certainly have a sharp tongue. But I'm afraid we're just here to carry out our orders. We don't care about the truth." Su Tian immediately stepped in front of him, holding out a hand. "If you want to lay a hand on him, you'll have to get through me first." Lin Shun was taken aback. "Is he protecting me?" Ignoring him, the man brazenly clapped a hand on the elder's shoulder. "I advise you not to get involved, Elder Su. The Thunder King is currently in seclusion, aiming for a breakthrough to the divine law realm. Besides, this order has already been cleared with his master, the holy son of taiqing." Su Tian's face darkened as he shot back. "Are you threatening me?" The man's expression changed in an instant. "You must be joking, Elder Su. Young Master Lin, I strongly advise you not to resist. Otherwise," annoyed, Lin Shun slapped his hand away. "Get your filthy claws off me." He thought to himself, "My body may be weak, but my spirit won't be broken." Just then, Qing Ro rushed out to intervene. "All of you stop." The crowd gasped in amazement. "It's the girl Lin Shun saved earlier. A beauty saving the hero. How interesting." Standing in front of him, she declared, "Big brother Lin Shun, let me handle this." He was a little surprised. "Qing Ro," she shouted, "left and right protectors of thunder. How dare you?" The moment the two men saw her, they flinched in fear. "Saint, we greet the Saintess." She snapped, "Get lost. Go back and tell the Thunder King. That big brother Lin Shun is under my protection. If you dare to harm him, you are harming me." The two of them exchanged a nervous glance, hesitating. "But this..." Seeing them waver, she raised her voice. "What is it? Still here? Or should I make sure the Thunder King is erased from the taiqing sect for good?" The two men immediately bowed in deference. Qing Ro then rushed to his side. "Big brother Lin Shun, you're badly injured. Let me help you." Lin Shun then turned to face the departing protectors. "Go back and tell your master." He paused, then added, What happened here today? Lin Shun will not forget it. Without a word, they just scoffed and flew away. Now, facing the crowd, Su Tian announced, "The selection tournament has come to a successful conclusion, and the champion of this competition is the disciple, Lin Shun." This result sent a wave of excitement through the crowd. Many couldn't help but erupt into thunderous cheers. Su Tian then handed him a pouch. "Lin Shun, this is the prize for the competition." He had said that inside this Chinquan bag are 2 King-grade Grand Pure Spirit Veins. And there's a token, too. The key to the #1 residence for inner disciples. Now, he joyfully holds the bag up before the crowd, announcing loudly, "Thank you, everyone. I'll keep working hard." The scene shifts to a massive mountain range. Wind and clouds drift leisurely across the sky. On another peak, a seemingly endless flight of stairs leads up to the summit. Standing before Stone Gate, Qing Ro turns to him. "This is the place. Brother Lin Shun. You should give this residence a name." Lin Shun paused to consider her words. After a moment's thought, he said, "Then let's call it Jun Tian Fu." As soon as the words left his lips, Lin Shun channeled his internal energy, carving the name into the stone above. Seeing the newly carved characters, Qing Ro praised him admiringly. "It's a wonderful name. Jun Tian Fu. A domain as grand as the heavens themselves." Then Lin Shun asked, "Qing Ro, want to go check it out with me?" She hesitated for a moment. I'm sorry, Brother Lin Shun. I have to go now." Lin Shun scratched his head and gave a wry smile. It's okay. You should go." Qing Ro bid him farewell. "After I come out of seclusion, I'll definitely come visit." Lin Shun thought to himself. The last time Qing Ro went into seclusion, she broke through from the 7th level of the Xiantian realm all the way to the 10th. This time, she's bound to have another major breakthrough. I have to work harder, too. He quickly opened the bag, his eyes widening in amazement. Wow, even the key is such high quality. Just what you'd expect from the #1 residence. Then, Lin Shun placed the token into an indentation on the stone gate before him. Instantly, the gate began to glow. It was reacting. A moment later, the great stone door rumbled open. K-Chunk, watching the gate open, Lin Shun clicked his tongue in awe. Jun Tianfu. So this is what first-class residence is like. The spiritual energy in this garden is insane. Gritting his teeth, he dashed inside. Here I come. Gungjin Qi. And there's so much of it. After a moment, the sheer force of the energy shredded Lin Shun's clothes, startling him. My body, it's too weak to handle this. Immediately, Lin Shun slammed his hand against the seizing heaven painting on the cliff wall. He then hurled something forward. He used 70% of his internal energy in that throw. As the talisman unfurled, Shue's voice echoed out. Kid, there's enough Gungjin Qi here to upgrade your weapon to King grade. Lin Shun added, I can feel an intense aura from within it. 800,000 contribution points. It was worth every last one. He allowed a long sigh. A mid-grade king artifact. Incredible. But I'm exhausted. All I want right now is a good meal and a long nap. But just then, Lin Shun spotted something else. He was completely stunned. What is that? Shue stared, mesmerized. A Gungjin spirit creature. It's about to form a spiritual body. Kid, you've hit the jackpot. Lin Shun stared intently at the creature. It then leaped away, shouting, the scent of a grand, pure spirit vein. As Lin Shun gave chase, Shue warned him. Shue, you, slow down. As soon as the creature saw him, its voice rang out. Ha ha, excellent. So all my effort wasn't in vain. A king-grade grand pure spirit vein and all this Gungjin Qi. With these, I'll be able to level up in no time. Shue's eyes gleamed. Lin Shun, give me a king-grade spirit vein. I'll set up a formation and a restrictive barrier for you. Lin Shun was taken aback when he heard that. What kind of formation needs a king-grade spirit vein? Annoyed, Shue smacked Lin Shun hard on the head. You look like some stingy miser guarding his treasure. Now hurry up and get dressed. Do you have any idea how many powerful experts beg me to set up a formation for them? What's with that look you're giving me, huh? Shue then added, this kid really doesn't know anything. A formation powered by a king-grade spirit vein is strong enough to trap a thunder protector. Lin Shun's jaw dropped in astonishment. He couldn't hide his amazement. Is it really that powerful? Then what are we waiting for? Take it. It's all yours. At that, old Shue let out a delighted laugh. Back in my day, I was a true grandmaster of formations. While Shui was reminiscing, Lin Shun had already sat down. He focused, circulating his inner energy to condense his multiple dantians. Inside his body, Lin Shun could feel droplets of power slowly seeping into him. Lifting his gaze to the heavens, Lin Shun thought to himself, "You could tell this thing is a real treasure just by looking at it." But he didn't stop there. He then tossed the item into the ancient tome. The moment it went inside, an incredibly loud, ear-splitting sound erupted from within. Shui had now transformed into a massive figure. 8 giant elephants made of pure qi. It can now finally display a fraction of its power. He glared at Lin Shun and roared. "The martial path shines bright. For all living things. 7 times 7 is 49. The formless sword. No slaughter, no end." And according to old Shui, this was the pen of the formation path. Lin Shun stared at the scene before him. He was so astonished he could only stammer. "This is up above." Shui, the scroll, and the pen seemed to merge into one. Together, they created an unbelievably vivid tableau. But it didn't end there. The pen suddenly began to fly through the air. But the strange thing was, it kept passing through old Shui's body, drawing continuously in the space around him. Following the strokes of the pen, old Shui's gaze grew even more intense. He stared forward with a heaven-shaking aura. A whirlwind of golden sword qi now enveloped Lin Shun. Shui then roared. "The 49 swords of 7 seals. Return to your positions. 7 by 7, 40. 9 swords." Faced with this magnificent spectacle, Lin Shun stood there, completely stunned. His jaw hung open in utter disbelief. Shui suddenly spoke. "A pity. A real pity. I had to use raw metal qi to act as the flying swords. If I had 49 low-grade king rank artifacts to use instead, its power would have been multiplied many times over." Lin Shun was amazed. Multiplied? Wouldn't that mean it could stop even 2 thunder protectors? A fire ignited within him. "I have to earn way more contribution points. Then I can use this formation to wipe out all those demonic cultivators." Shui tossed the pen to him and said, "Now absorb its power. Then you'll be able to control this formation." Lin Shun quickly caught it and nodded. Then, he closed his eyes and began circulating his internal energy, channeling his cultivation technique into the pen. As his power flowed into it, the pen instantly vanished, merging with Lin Shun's body. Watching the sword spirits dance in the air, Lin Shun praised them inwardly. Such incredible power, as expected of a sword formation. Old Shui watched him intently and spoke. "Kid, I'm off to see some heavenly essence. You go and recover from your injuries." Before leaving, he added a reminder. "Don't forget to take care of the little girl who gave you that Chinquan pouch." Lin Shun's eyes widened in realization. The Chinquan pouch. He took out a green box from inside it. He stared at it, wondering, "What is this?" Opening it, he recognized it immediately. The great pill of life and death. A thought then crossed Lin Shun's mind. "I've seen this pill on the exchange board. It's worth 3 million contribution points. And Qing Ro actually gave it to me. He runs the numbers in his head. Lei Wang comes out of seclusion in a month. I have to raise my cultivation by a full stage before then. Otherwise, the consequences will be unimaginable." As he thought of the 2 most important people in his life, Lin Shun hardened his resolve. "Dad, Qing Ro, I will never, ever let you down." And so, time flew by. In the blink of an eye, 2 days had passed. At the June Tian estate, Lin Shun sat in silence, focusing his internal energy. From the mouth of the cave, a stream of pale green energy suddenly appeared. That power moved like a great wind, whipping all around. It didn't stop there, darting about erratically, but with incredible agility. Just then, Lin Shun's eyes snapped open, his gaze filled with a much fiercer determination. But seeing the great whirlwind before him, Lin Shun couldn't help but ask in surprise, "What's going on?" Shui immediately appeared before him. "Lin Shun, I can feel a ripple of spiritual power approaching." But this was beyond Lin Shun's understanding, and he asked blankly, "What's that? A ripple of spiritual power?" Then, Lin Shun gathered his internal energy once more. Focusing his aura, he shouted, 7 kills, 7 absolutes, 7 forms, sword formation." The wind immediately swelled into a massive storm. The swords of energy moved ceaselessly through the air. Feeling it had gathered enough power, Lin Shun immediately let out a roar. 2. At that moment, a brilliant beam of white light, beautiful and pure, burst forth from the center. Lin Shun reached out a hand, trying to feel its essence. Where's this light coming from? It's so bright it's blinding my iron alloy eyes. Afterward, everything slowly returned to normal. Lin Shun stood beside Old Man Shui, gazing at their surroundings. Now looking up at it, Lin Shun was startled to see a golden object had appeared. What is this? On the paper, a line of warning slowly materialized. Beware O. As the rest of the words slowly appeared, Lin Shun's expression darkened. Beware of Lei Wang, or you will die. Shui was just as surprised. Who sent this? What's this supposed to mean?